struck him out swinging at 103.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, August 3rd. Your top story, the power's back on after tornadoes tear through the Fox Valley.
I'm Jessica Ty, searching for missing kayakers up in Door County.
Beautiful day today, mostly sunny, high 78. Clear tonight at a low of 64. Next chance of rain appears to be Tuesday night into Wednesday. From the WTMJ and Breaking Newsroom, cleanup continues in the Fox Valley, progress being made after an EF3 tornado tore through the city.
Power has now been restored to over 75% of the Menasha Utilities service area, and garbage collection for storm-damaged household waste is complete. The regular garbage and recycling collection resumes on its normal schedule starting today. The next major collection effort is building materials. Crews will begin collecting siding, roofing, lumber, brick, and other similar items today. This collection is not for disposing of an entire garage, shed, or house that needs to be removed. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Search efforts continue today for 2 kayakers missing near Washington Island in Door County.
They stated that the male party's phone is dead and the female party's phone is at the cabin.
They were headed south toward Hog, haven't been seen.
At Scanner Audio from Broadcastify, the 2 20-year-olds were last seen Saturday afternoon launching a kayak from Wickman Road. They were not wearing life jackets. The U.S. Coast Guard and local fire departments are assisting Washington Island police with the search.
Wisconsin preparing for new federal Medicaid work requirements that state officials say could affect hundreds of thousands of Badger Care members.
The Department of Health Services says around 200,000 adults enrolled in Badger Care Plus will likely have to prove they're working, attending school, or volunteering to keep their health coverage. DHS Secretary Kirsten Johnson says about 63,000 people could be at immediate risk of losing benefits.
The work requirement means certain Medicaid members must prove they have worked or participated in other activities to obtain and keep their health care coverage.
DHS says notifications will begin going out this month, with the new federal work requirements taking effect next year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Holdout Republican Senators John Cornyn and Tom Tillis say they will vote to advance Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General. Overnight, Blanche formally rescinded the order that established the so-called anti-weaponization fund as part of President Trump's settlement with the IRS. ABC's Catherine Faulders.
It means that he'll almost certainly clear the committee vote. That is what has been the holdup. This was supposed to happen last week, and because of these 2 senators who sit on the Senate Judiciary Committee, he was not going to get the votes. He needs the votes for his nomination then to advance to the full Senate floor. So this is a hurdle that he obviously needed to clear. It appears that he will clear it. The hearing is scheduled for tomorrow morning. That's when Chairman Grassley has scheduled it for. So he'll get past that, but then he needs to be confirmed by the full Senate.
The senator said they had negotiated a legally enforceable document that ends the anti-weaponization fund and limits protections against audits.
And the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C., Jeanine Pirro, is dropping charges against the former Olympian who President Trump said vandalized the reflecting pool.
This really was a stunning reversal by the Justice Department, dropping these vandalism charges against the former Olympic rower David Hearn. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro saying that Interior Department documents showed the contractor's botched job caused the damage, not Hearn. But the president is continuing to insist it was vandals that ruined his beautification project.
Hearn's attorneys accused the Trump administration of making the 67-year-old ex-Olympian a scapegoat for the expensive and troubled renovation. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A day full of green here this afternoon, with the Dow surging nearly 500 points at 52,951. NASDAQ also up about 500 at 25,874. And the S&P is up about 100 points this afternoon at 75.85. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
The window to execute trades in the MLB is closing here soon. Are the Brewers going to do anything now? Stay close. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here. We're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Turnover. It's costly, it's frustrating, it's a silent profit killer. Vince Vitrano here for Go Trago Assessment Solutions. Go Trago helps you hire the right people the first time, reducing turnover, cutting hiring costs, and improving sales. Trago TPS predictive assessments identify top performers before they're on your payroll. Auto dealers nationwide are using Trago to operate with turnover rates more than 200% lower than the industry average. Visit GoTrago.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers are back home following a 3-3 road trip. A 7-game homestand begins tonight with the first of 4 against the Pirates. By the time the Brewers take the field this evening, the window to execute trades will have closed. What does Jacob Mizorowski think of all the rumors and discussion?
Trade deadline is 24 hours away now. What are your views?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to answer it.
Even on the Dodgers?
I'm not even. Yeah, I'm good. So you can just stop the question.
Not taking the bait there. To recap, the Dodgers land 2-time Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal. The Cubs beef up their rotation, adding Kevin Gausman from the Blue Jays. The Atlanta Braves swing a deal with the Giants for starting pitcher Tyler Mahle. And former Brewers ace Freddie Peralta goes to the Tampa Bay Rays. First padded practice of training camp is in the books for the Packers, and another solid day for wide receiver Matthew Golden, who's expected to replace Romeo Doubs in Matt LaFleur's offense.
I feel like we got a good group, a lot of good guys on the team. We added some new additions. I feel like we're a real tight group right now, but for me, I know I can do a lot of good things. So whenever my number is called, I know I'm going to be able to perform with my best foot forward and just go out there and attack.
The Packers begin the preseason August 13th against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Checking out your roads with our WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It is a bit of a mess in one part of Racine County. Heads up here, this is not a new crash, but we're still seeing the impacts of it. It's still out there. 4194 South, a little bit more than a mile beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 20. The right lane is blocked due to a crash. It's popped up a little bit after 10:30 this morning, it looks like, and I am still seeing it. I see emergency lights, emergency responders are out there, and as I just pulled up the cameras, traffic is just slowly moving by, and the backup continues. So heads up there, you want to avoid the area if you can. The good news is it doesn't last for long. This is basically the Yorkville area that's impacted. And then once you get past, 11 there, it looks like you're good to go. But bottom line, avoid the area if you can. 4194 South, about a mile beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 20. Right lane is still blocked because of a crash.
Beautiful day today. Sunny and a high of 78. Clear tonight, a low of 64. Most of the day Tuesday is very nice. Sunny and a little warmer, high 84. Chance of evening showers and storms that could linger into Wednesday. In fact, storms are possible, maybe multiple rounds on Wednesday, and a high of 78. Early rain possible on Thursday, then partly cloudy, high 77. Sun returns on Friday with a high of 81. It's 76 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, it's kind of detached over the weekend. A long weekend getaway to Galena, Illinois. It's kind of one of those little hidden gems that very close to Dubuque, Iowa. It's sort of where Iowa and Illinois and Wisconsin come together. Pretty close over there, celebrating my parents' 60th wedding anniversary.
Congrats to them. That's awesome.
Also got to kind of go back through the paces of my brother's wedding about 20 years ago in Galena, near the place where we stayed. So fun little trip with the family, and it was good to detach for a couple of days.
Galena is such a charming town. Definitely one to see for sure.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
The city of Madison is working to reopen the area where a man was shot and killed by police last month. The intersection of Baldwin, also known as Billy in Madison, and Williamson has been shut down for 12 days now since 38-year-old Corey Ruiz was killed. A makeshift memorial arose and people started sleeping there. Now the mayor says the gathering needs to end now. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says the encampment is hurting nearby businesses. So here's what's happening moving forward. Barricades are coming down, and the city is going to start towing cars that aren't moved. The city is also relocating memorial items so traffic can move through. There's a plan to preserve the art and pictures for a permanent memorial to Ruiz. Meanwhile, the Wisconsin Department of Justice continues to investigate the police shooting. 4 officers are on administrative leave.
Trade deadline day in Major League Baseball. The Brewers have less than 5 hours to swing a deal to fortify the roster. Milwaukee misses out on 2-time Cy Young Award-winning pitcher Tarek Skubal, but sources confirmed to WTMJ the Brewers were in advanced discussions with the Tigers. Skubal, one of 5 starting pitchers on the move, including former Brewers ace Freddie Peralta. He's being sent from the Mets to the Tampa Bay Rays. So what is left for Milwaukee to hone in on?
Relief pitching, and that's where Luke Weaver right now is the best available arm on the market. He's got signed for another year. Milwaukee wants help. Pittsburgh wants help. Frankly, everyone wants help.
That's ESPN's Jeff Passan. The window to execute a trade closes at 5 o'clock this evening. Brewers will take the field against the Pirates a little after 6 o'clock tonight.
Trump Media is launching a new feature giving some subscribers early access to the president's social media posts. ABC's Catherine Falders.
The idea here is that they will get access within milliseconds faster, if you will, than me or you. When we see these things posted on the president's social media platform, critics have raised the prospects of that, but also say that it's corrupt, that it's another example of presidential self-enrichment.
Critics are also raising insider trading concerns. Listen to Hofstra law professor James Sample.
This is a remarkable effort to monetize the presidency in a way that we've never seen before.
But wait, can we back up for a moment? So these subscribers will get early access, but just milliseconds faster?
Well, every second counts.
Milliseconds faster? I mean, I could understand maybe even 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour, but milliseconds faster? What is that really going to do for you?
Well, sometimes it can win you a gold medal versus the silver in the 100-meter dash.
Yeah, this will be interesting.
Okay. Coming up on the other side, our weekly conversation with MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy. So the MMAC works with Marquette University to produce a monthly Metro Milwaukee Economic Insights report. We'll go through it with Tim, some of the challenges and some of the wins after this.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian.
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
You know who forms the #1 bank in Wisconsin? Horicon Bank. Hello, I'm Eric Weissman. Thank you to our customers for helping Horicon Bank earn this recognition. From everyday banking, mortgage lending, trust administration, 55 or better Gliders Club, and My Money for Kids, Horicon Bank has solutions for every stage of life. And let's not forget about our incredible business banking team. I personally invite you to learn more about Horicon Bank at horiconbank.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Horicon Bank MLS 434805, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Mostly sunny today, high 78 degrees. Very comfortable tonight and clear, low 64. Sunny and a little warmer. Most of Tuesday is very nice, high 84. Chance of rain in the evening hours with storms lingering into Wednesday. Rounds of storms possible on Wednesday with a high of 78. Some early rain possible on Thursday, then partly cloudy, a high 77. Sun returns on Friday with a high of 81. 78 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:16. And our weekly economic spotlight is sponsored by Horicon Bank. Together doing good. It's horiconbank.com, truly the natural choice, and member FDIC. We say good Monday to MMAC Senior Advisor. It's Tim Sheehy. Hi, Tim.
Good to be with you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here. Wanted to have you walk us through an interesting report that the MMAC works with Marquette University on to produce. It's monthly. It's the Metro Milwaukee Economic Insight Report. So everything from wage growth to unemployment, real estate, it's all analyzed here. Wanted to work with you through some of the good news for the first half of 2026. I know it's a monthly thing, but all this data is compiled. What do the numbers suggest? Where are we winning?
Yeah, I would say that the top line here through mid-26 is that Wisconsin is on steady ground. Our unemployment is a couple ticks below the national average of 4%. Home values are rising while they're declining on the national average. And then probably the most important overall economic indicator is our gross domestic product. What is Wisconsin producing? How efficient are we? How productive are we? And that continues to at least keep pace with the national average. And the final thing I'll say is, over the last 10 years, our gross domestic product has risen about 15%. So we're on steady ground is the way I would put it.
So now that we know about the good, and I like Greg ask about the good, and so I'm the bad guy here, Greg. I'm going to ask about the bad.
That was intentional, yeah.
But seriously here, what economic challenge worries you the most heading into the second half of the year?
Yeah, the economic challenges that worry me the most are not just unique to Wisconsin. Again, with the war in Iran, the price of gas, which drives up inflation, some of the lingering impacts of tariffs, and the rising cost of healthcare, affecting not only retirees, but companies that are paying for the healthcare. So those would be on the top of my list. But the one that's unique to Wisconsin is also our challenge just to fill the jobs that are being created.
So who are filling the jobs? Growth is steady in the region. Who is filling those roles?
Yeah, it's a great question. And the big challenge Wisconsin has is between now and 2040, our working age population grows by less than 1%. So to put a number on that, we're only going to add a net 15,000 people to the workforce between now and 2040. And if you unpack those numbers, you really get into some interesting data. Over the last 14 years, our natural born, in other words, people born in Wisconsin, have only grown by 0.75%, 0.75. But foreign-born additions to the workforce have grown 17%. So it tells me that Wisconsin really doesn't function without kind of healthy immigration. And we're seeing that across a number of job categories.
Speaking of that, which industries are relying most heavily on immigrant workers right now, especially here in Wisconsin?
Yeah, great question. So the service work, the category of service workers, the number of foreign-born participants in there outpace those born in Wisconsin. The same is true for construction, and the same is true for production and transportation. And when you look at management, business, and science, that's the one place, along with sales, where kind of the local-born population makes up a bigger percentage of the job market. But the punchline to all this is we need a healthy, functioning immigration system nationally, and Wisconsin's going to need it if it's going to continue to fill the jobs that are being created here.
You mentioned some of the challenges, Tim, and I can't help but think how linked they are, right? persistent inflation, housing affordability, they are linked. Materials cost more. The shipping of those materials costs more. It all kind of works together. I know there's not a simple answer, but how do you break out of it? Do you try and devise a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, or is some of this just sort of out of the hands of those in the state because of things happening on a larger national or global level?
No, I think to some extent it's a good question. And if you look at the global market, we can be the captain of our own ship. And what we can make sure that we do is, educate and skill the talent that we have here in Wisconsin, prepare it for artificial intelligence and the impact that's going to have, make sure that we have our state debt in line, and we do that pretty well. Those are things that we can do to prepare Wisconsin to sail in what are going to be turbulent seas in the coming years.
Okay, speaking of job opportunities, I do see that MLB has some careers and league opportunities available, but that doesn't mean you can be on the Brewers. How difficult is that? I mean, we're talking about a small part of the region's economy here, but the Brewers, they're always grabbing headlines. How hard is it to gain employment on that roster? Yeah, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but I was going over these numbers. They were on the internet post somewhere, and there are roughly 135,000 kids playing baseball as a senior in high school. Only 7.4% of those 135,000 kids are going to make it on an NCAA roster. And of those 135,000 high school seniors, less than 0.2% will ever show up on a major league roster even for a day. And so it just shows you how incredibly hard it is to get to that point. And so as the summer starts to close out here, and all the Little League parents are excited about the season their kids have had, I think it's wonderful. Dream big, but have a backup plan.
You know what, Tim? Your son got a little bit of a taste of life in the NFL, and here he was, a 2-time, all Big Ten performer at the University of Wisconsin, right? Big Ten, road graders up front on that offensive line. And your son got a taste of it, but did he go into his tryout with the Packers after being undrafted thinking, Dad, I got a shot? Or was it, Dad, I don't have a shot, after being sort of an all Big Ten performer?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think you get to that point. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe you have a shot. But statistically, it's very difficult. But, as individuals, we don't look at statistics. We look at ourselves. And so I think that's how we approached it. I flamed out a lot quicker. My baseball career ended at the University of Wisconsin when I figured out my job was to put other people in the pros.
Yeah. Nice. Well, hey, now one of your roles should be trying to get baseball back at the University of Wisconsin, Tim. Wouldn't that be you're the ambassador for the UW baseball team? I would love to introduce you as that at some point.
That would be great to see, and maybe that turn of the cards will come at some point. But again, it just shows. They're all wonderful opportunities for kids, and I don't begrudge them the opportunity at all. It's just a very, very narrow pipeline to get there all the way to the end.
More likely to work in accounting for Major League Baseball. And they do say they have incredible benefits, automatic annual employer contributions to the 401k, health club discounts. The list goes on and on, according to the website.
I think you get the MLB package, too. You can watch any game from the comfort of your own home, Tim. There you go.
There you go. I mean, if you can't pitch, you might be able to watch the pitch count.
Well, good stuff. Tim Sheehy joins us every Monday here on Wisconsin's Midday News, our economic spotlight presented by Horicon Bank. We always appreciate it, Tim. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
You bet.
It's a nice perk. I was at Lane Grindle's house not too long ago, and we were in the basement. He was like, oh, yeah, it's part of our deal here working with the Brewers. We get the MLB TV thing. We can watch any game we want. It's all part of our plan.
I believe it. It also says MLBshop.com and MLB.TV discounts.
Well, there you go. Coming up on 12:25 here on WTMJ. It is kind of a big day in the world of Major League Baseball at the trade deadline. It's one of those days you're just sort of hitting refresh every so often here on the news feeds to see if anything is popping, because things are happening here, and the window to execute a trade closes at 5 o'clock this evening before the Brewers take the field against the Pirates. To this point, not a move has been made, but I did have some people who are in the know on how things work and said the Brewers were definitely in on 2-time Cy Young Award-winning pitcher Tarek Skubal. He ends up going to the Dodgers over the weekend. So is there a backup plan, a move to be made? We'll keep you updated throughout the day here on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Come on into Tyson's, more for you.
This summer, Tyson's is giving one lucky winner the ride of a lifetime. A 2026 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Liberty Edition or $30,000 cash. You pick. Entering is free. Visit your local Tyson's and scan the sweepstakes QR code. One entry per day. And you can come back every day for another chance to win. Sweepstakes run July 4th through September 7th. We'll see you there. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 18 and older. Void where prohibited. See official rules at Tysons.com.
Well, we'd stepped away for a long weekend. It was nice to come home to, one, a clean house. We always clean our house before we leave to go away for a couple of days. And also, just a spot to relax in our basement, furnished by Matrix Basement Finishing. Designed and built by Matrix. They only do basements. It's what they do. And it's what they did for us in the process of about 11 weeks from that first delivery to the final item on the punch list being crossed off. Matrix built a beautiful lower level for us. It's become the heart of our home. And what I mean by that is we can all be in the same space without feeling like we're on top of one another. It's kind of how we had it designed. Matrix took the lead on it, and we did it all from the comfort of our own home. If you're in that lower level of years and thinking to yourself, we can make this better, we got to do something here, right? As part of your evolving life. Maybe your kids are getting a little bit older. You'd like them to have a little more dedicated space. Maybe the kids are back from college and you'd like to have that space outfitted for them. Maybe you just want a fun place for family hosting near the holidays or birthdays or game night or movie night, you name it. Matrix Basement Finishing can make it a reality for you. Why wait? Book now, no payments with Matrix till 2028. The design consultation is how it starts. Then plan review, progress updates throughout the process, and a completed project for you to enjoy. Check out Matrix Basement Finishing.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Hear from me, yours truly, Steve Scavidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's 77 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Ohio's senior senator, Republican Bernie Moreno, is calling for his ex-son-in-law, Ohio Republican Congressman Max Miller, to leave Congress over abuse allegations. ABC's Jay O'Brien.
In a February police report obtained by ABC News, Moreno told authorities her daughter came back from staying with Miller and had a fractured collarbone and what appeared to be a handprint bruise on her shoulder. Moreno also detailed an alleged pattern of abuse against her.
Miller denies the allegations. Two Republican senators who delayed the Todd Blanche nomination for Attorney General say Blanche has met their demands. A Judiciary Committee vote is expected tomorrow. 2 deaths are reported in the parasitic stomach bug outbreak in Michigan, says the state health department. Cases in the state are now over 11,000. President Trump saying new Iran talks would start today, but Iran saying its diplomatic efforts involve neighboring countries. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. The mayor of Madison urging protesters occupying the intersection of Williamson and Baldwin Streets to clear the area, saying it's time for the community to move forward following the deadly police shooting of Corey Ruiz.
In a statement, Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says city officials are working with community groups to provide shelter, hotel rooms, and mental health services for people staying at the site while encouraging a peaceful resolution. Rhodes Conway says businesses in the area are losing customers, employees are being laid off, and some residents are struggling to pay rent. She's urging demonstrators to remove barricades and vehicles, relocate memorial items, and reopen the intersection so the community can begin the healing process. The city says it will start to tow vehicles that are blocking streets in the area. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The ACLU of Wisconsin is suing the state over a law requiring transgender people to undergo a surgical procedure before changing the sex marker on their birth certificate. The lawsuit argues the requirement violates the Wisconsin Constitution by forcing people to undergo surgery or disclose private medical information to obtain accurate ID documents. The ACLU says birth certificates are essential for everything from getting a driver's license to applying for a job. It's now asking a judge in Dane County to strike down the law.
Decision Wisconsin. Over 100,000 absentee ballots could play a major role in Wisconsin's Democratic governor's primary. Many were cast before several candidates dropped out of the race or re-entered, leaving some voters unable to change those ballots. UW-Milwaukee political science professor Mordecai Lee.
I'm sure that a lot of people wish they hadn't voted early or that they hadn't mailed it in early right away. Maybe what they'll take from that is when there are big, messy primaries, even after the election commission decides who's on the ballot, maybe some Wisconsinites will take from the lesson of not to vote too early.
A Dane County judge ruled voters who already returned an absentee ballot cannot request a new one.
A Delafield restaurant owner is facing sexual assault charges.
49-year-old Yazara Konda is accused of sexually assaulting 2 employees by intentionally touching them without their consent. Konda made inappropriate comments and twice grabbed female employees behind without their consent. Investigators say other employees saw some of the alleged incidents. Konda allegedly told the restaurant's general manager he didn't remember the incidents because he had been drinking. He's due in court on August 20th. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Drivers coming into Milwaukee from the north get a little extra breathing room on the highway beginning this week.
Squeezing through construction on I-41 is getting easier just as state fair crowds take to the road. Eric Hansen of the DOT says they're reopening lanes north of the city.
So beginning in the week of August 3rd, prior to state fair, I-41 northbound is scheduled to reopen to 3 lanes.
Southbound lanes between Silver Spring and Burleigh are also back to 3 lanes. Hansen admits the timing works out great for fairgoers, even if it was pure luck.
That's just the way that staging coincided, but it's a good coincidence, I guess.
Expect those traffic shifts to hold even after the fair wraps up. Debbie Lazica, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Back to school season always seems to get everyone back on a schedule. So here's my question. When are you going to make yourself part of that routine? I'm Steve Scafidi, and that's exactly what I did with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Honestly, I wish I would have started sooner. I'm feeling better. I've got more energy because it really, really works. Right now, if you enroll by August 31st, you'll save $200 on the complete Milwaukee Weight Loss program. Don't keep putting it off. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation today. Results may vary.
Looking for a getaway with fantastic outdoor recreation? Sheboygan is a perfect destination. Hike or bike through Kohler Andre State Park and other local parks. There are all kinds of water sports, including surfing, paddleboarding, and kayaking. Sheboygan's walkability takes you to South Pier. Visit shops, play mini golf, and enjoy fine dining. Shop their farmers market and take in live music. It's the Malibu of the Midwest. Plan your getaway today at visitsheboygan.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. It's been more than 3 years, and I'm telling you, my garage doors from J.D. Griffiths still look brand new. They pop. J.D. Griffiths has been installing garage doors and building detached garages for decades, and right now, J.D. Griffiths wants to do something for you. The first 10 people to go to the website and mention WTMJ can get $100 off a garage renovation, $100 off a new door, or $500 toward a new garage build. Go to jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ right now.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The best bat is off the market. In advance of today's 5 o'clock deadline to make a trade, Luis Arraez is traded from the Giants to the Phillies. He leads the National League in hitting with a .328 average. 4 of the best starting pitchers on the market have new homes, including Freddie Peralta is being traded to the Rays. What does that leave the Brewers in the market for?
Relief pitching, and that's where Luke Weaver right now is the best available arm on the market. He's got signed for another year. Milwaukee wants help. Pittsburgh wants help. Frankly, everyone wants help.
That's ESPN's Jeff Passan. On the field tonight, the Brewers begin a 4-game series with the Pirates at American Family Field. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur has instructions for his team on day one of pads being worn at practice.
I don't want them to come anywhere near the quarterback. You can't get close to him. There's going to be a time and a place for that, and that'll be in our first preseason game.
Packers offensive lineman Zach Tom changing his name to Zach Bako Bowele to honor his Nigerian heritage.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Want to give you a heads up. We are still dealing with a crash in Racine County that has traffic crawling along. 4194 south, a little bit more than a mile beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 20. The right lane is blocked because of this crash. This is a crash that happened before 11 o'clock, and it's still out there. I will say, I just took a peek at the cameras again for you. There's so much traffic at the vantage point that I'm looking at. It's hard to see everything, but when I looked last time, it certainly seemed to be more emergency lights. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that some of the emergency vehicles have since left and maybe we're getting closer to clearing this crash. It does look like there's at least one emergency vehicle out there yet. And the bottom line is the crash is still there in some capacity. So traffic, if you're in it, I hear you. You are going very slow. I see you. The good news is it's not for that long, the backup. Backup starts in the Yorkville area around 20. And then it looks like it goes, so we're talking about Wisconsin 20, and then it looks like it clears up before Wisconsin 11. So while you're in it, it's slow, but once you get through, it's not too bad.
Sunny today, high 78 degrees, clear tonight, a low of 64. Most of Tuesday is pretty good here, mostly sunny and a warmer temperature, high of 84. Chance of evening storms possible. That could linger into Wednesday, where you've got a couple of rounds of rain in the forecast and a high of 78. Wednesday appears to be kind of the wet one. Thursday, early showers are possible, then partly cloudy, high 77. Sun returns on Friday, high 81. 78 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:39.
Businesses and a recovery effort that is not close to over. In the days after the storm, Convoy of Hope deployed to Menasha with truckloads of emergency supplies. The vice president of Convoy of Hope, Ethan Forhetz, joins us live to talk about the needs his organization saw and how it's helping. Thanks so much for joining us, Ethan.
Great to be with you. Thanks for the time.
I noticed it was Wednesday. So we're talking about like less than 48 hours after that tornado hit. A friend of mine posted a picture and said, looks like Convoy of Hope is headed up to the area. Wasn't for sure. I mean, it was just the van on the interstate, right? But I reached out to you guys to see if it was indeed your crew was headed to the disaster area. As I mentioned, today marks 1 week. Based on what your teams saw, and you were up there too for a couple of days, where does the recovery effort stand right now? What did you witness?
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, there's a lot of destroyed and damaged homes. I got to go through a lot of neighborhoods and see that destruction firsthand, and just talk to some of the people who are there who, man, you don't see this sort of thing coming. It just hits, and then now you're left with the results of it, whether it's you have to put a new roof on, you have to tarp up your roof, whether you need a whole house, whether you have to move into a hotel for a little while and start dealing with all the insurance issues. So people just need help, and that's what Convoy of Hope has been providing. And our response, it evolves over time. So we began with groceries and water and tarps for the roofs and totes so people could go into their yards and gather whatever belongings they could, put them in a tote to keep them safe from the weather that's still to come, because a lot of times rain follows, and then just help people begin to get back on their feet a little bit, give them hope that tomorrow is going to be a better day, because that's ultimately what we're doing. And now our response has shifted a little bit as we get a little further away from the tornado that hit. Our team is there. We've got about a dozen people there working with heavy machinery that we've transported up to clean up yards and to do things that insurance is not going to do. So we've been able to identify some middle to lower income areas where people could struggle to be able to hire this done themselves. I know the city's coming through and will pick up stuff along the curb. An issue for a lot of folks is getting that to the curb, these big, heavy trees. So we're digging up roots, we're pulling up trees, we're moving them to the curb for the people in Menasha and Appleton and Neenah, and just trying to work with them to ease the pain of this a little bit.
So, Ethan, it really is whatever is required. That's sort of the mantra here, right? Which is great. You're on the ground. You're helping people at a time of need. How long typically do you stay in an area, or can you assess even how long you might be in the Menasha area, given the damage that you've experienced?
Well, it varies. We get asked that question a lot, and I totally get it. But it varies disaster to disaster. Our goal is always to help as many people as we can for as long as we can. So we want to be there for the foreseeable future to be able to meet the needs. And a lot of our partners in the area are churches. They make great partners for Convoy of Hope, because when you think about it, there are several churches in every community across the country. They're our eyes and ears really on the ground when something happens. Then we get in touch with them. They usually have the big parking lots and the volunteers that we can call on to help us distribute the supplies that we're giving out. So we stay in close contact with the church leaders throughout your area, as well as government leaders, to talk to them about what's needed, what's the transition now, the need changes, as I mentioned, over time. So what is needed now, and how can we be part of it for as long as possible?
We're talking to the vice president of Convoy of Hope. Convoy of Hope has about a dozen people still up in the Menasha area helping after the tornado that hit 1 week ago today. Convoy of Hope has responded to disasters around the world, and I was just taking a look at some of them on your website here. In fact, you guys just sprang into action responding to the wildfires that we saw and we are seeing in Washington State. So that's a brand new one. But before the tornado in Menasha, you guys were responding to flooding across West Virginia, the deadly flooding across central Texas. Also, a big story that we covered, the devastating earthquakes in Venezuela. So what lessons have you learned that help communities recover faster after devastating events like these?
Well, it's been a very busy summer for Convoy of Hope. We're at disaster number 63 with the wildfires in Washington that we're now responding to. We are well ahead of a record pace for Convoy of Hope. The most international and U.S., the most number of disasters that we've responded to in 1 year in the past was 99. That was 2 years ago. So we are, if it keeps up, on pace to get to 120 or something this year. We hope that the pace doesn't keep up, obviously. But, what Convoy has learned over the years is that the community, and we saw this in Menasha, I saw it firsthand, the community in the area wants to help the people affected by whatever disasters happened. So we were blessed by these incredible volunteers that showed up. I was talking to them, asking them where they're from. A couple of them that morning had heard about our distribution that was taking place outside of Piggly Wiggly. So they just came and showed up, and they put on a Convoy of Hope T-shirt, and we instructed them. They were loading up groceries for their community members, their neighbors. And that's what we love at Convoy of Hope, is that we get to empower the community to be the community in the community. We get to empower people to go out and help their neighbors, because not everybody was affected by the tornado, and they want to do something to help the people who were affected. And the same is true everywhere, every disaster. The wildfires that are happening in Washington right now, everybody's evacuated, so we're responding there, and there are volunteers coming to the shelters to help people. We want to empower them, and whether it's the flooding that took place in West Virginia and in Texas, and then I was down in Venezuela as well. Even in Venezuela, these devastating earthquakes where big apartment towers have come down. The people who are digging through the rubble, many times using their bare hands, are the neighbors, the other people who live in that town. They maybe know somebody who lived in that tower, and they were working fervently to try to dig them out while I was there. And we got to see some amazing stories of rescue. But that's what Convoy of Hope knows, is that people want to help people. We just give them a chance to do it.
So, Ethan, you are not from Wisconsin. Convoy of Hope is not based out of Wisconsin, but I'm sure you've learned a lot about people in Wisconsin during your time spent on the ground. What have you learned? What are your takeaways? Because this has got to be enlightening for you every trip you make.
And that's why I love to talk to the volunteers. It's the heart of the people of Wisconsin to want to do something to help their neighbor in need. And whatever that is, they want to reach out. They want to, because they know that they've been blessed. Maybe they weren't affected by this tornado in a negative way, but other people that they know have been, or even that they don't know. And that's an amazing part, is that a lot of times it's the people they don't even know, but they know that they're neighbors and they want to do something to help. So it's the heart of the people of Wisconsin that is really on display right now, and Convoy of Hope has been able to see that up close and personal. People reaching out to help people.
Ethan, you were in Menasha for a few days. I know we mentioned that you still have, Convoy of Hope still has about a dozen people up there helping right now, but you left because you were going to head to another event, and I heard that you were in a crash, that a semi crashed into your car as you were leaving the Menasha area. I was wondering, it sounds like you're doing okay, but how are you and your daughter doing?
Yeah, my daughter and I were driving. She had a big triathlon race, Triathlon National, happening in Cincinnati. So we were on our way back, and boy, it was a heavy downpour that happened, and the rain let up. So all the traffic was getting back to speed. My Google Maps alerted me that there's a crash ahead that happened during the heavy downpour. So I was aware of that coming, ready to slow down, and we were starting to slow down. The truck next to us was not slowing down, the big semi, and was going too fast, realized the traffic ahead has stopped, hit the brakes, swerved over into our lane, and pinned us up against the guardrail. So it was a big semi on my daughter's side in the passenger seat, and then the guardrail on my left. Fortunately, the vehicle didn't flip. We didn't have any issues there. Both sides were stripped down, pretty bare because of the guardrail and the semi. Daughter shaken up a little bit, but we quickly realized that, hey, we're okay. And I looked in the rearview mirror because it was a pileup. There were about 6 vehicles involved. And I saw quickly that there was nobody coming behind us to hit us, because that was my fear.
Yeah.
And then we quickly realized we were grateful that we were okay. And now I'm working with insurance to try to get our car back from Indiana.
Oh, what a mess. Well, thank goodness you guys are okay. By the way, what county did that happen in?
Oh, that happened right by the airport in Indianapolis.
Oh, in Indy. Okay. All right.
In Indianapolis is where it happened, yeah.
Well, thank goodness you guys are okay, and we appreciate the help that you were doing and that your team is doing, Convoy of Hope is doing up in Menasha still. That is the Vice President of Convoy of Hope, Ethan Forhetz. Thanks so much for joining us, Ethan.
Thanks for the time. Good to be with you.
It's 12:49.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 17 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. That's bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Well, if you've been hurt in an accident, the folks at Gruber Law Offices know it can flip your world upside down. They will fight your legal battle for you while you focus on healing, which is what you deserve to do after that accident. It's Gruber Law Offices. They've been doing it for 40 years, helping you here in the state of Wisconsin recover from that accident and focused on the legal aspect. Let them fight the battle, providing the best care, service, and representation, all top priorities for Gruber, in addition to giving back to the community. These are wonderful people. It's a family-run business, but they do have a large and powerful team of attorneys ready to fight your legal battle for you, making a difference, helping those in the community for almost 40 years. It's Gruber, locally known and nationally recognized. Check them out online at gruber-law.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, just make that simple phone call to 414-276-6666.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Night and weekend hours are required. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. Google and call the Fox and Hounds today.
Catch a battle between two of the National League's best when the Brewers take on the Braves Friday, August 21st and Saturday, the 22nd. It's a weekend of great matchups and great events as the Brewers celebrate Black Culture Fest at the opener Friday, the 21st, featuring live art, live music performances, and a maker's market. Then it's Hank Aaron replica jersey giveaway day on the 22nd, courtesy of UW Credit Union. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today at brewers.com.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
Enjoy the day today. Very nice, pleasant, comfortable afternoon at the high of about 79 degrees. Might touch 80 inland. Overnight low 64, clear skies. Tomorrow looking good for the majority of the day. A little warm up to a high of 84 degrees. Some rain moves in later in the evening. That could linger into Wednesday morning. A couple of rounds of rain expected on Wednesday with a high in the mid 70s. That should clear out a little bit on Thursday. We remain cloudy, however, with temperatures approaching 80 degrees, back to 81 and sunny on Friday. 78 sunny in Milwaukee at 12:53.
Greg, you know that saying, if a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Oh, sure.
Well, this is kind of like that. Is it still toilet paper if it's not made with paper? One of the biggest manufacturers of paper products is hoping to find out. Here's ABC's Sherry Preston.
Kimberly-Clark, maker of Huggies diapers, Scott paper towels, and Cottonelle toilet paper, tells the Wall Street Journal they've been looking for a viable alternative to wood pulp and all the trees needed to make it for 20 years now, and they think they found it. It's called Hesper Aloe. It can grow with very little water, which was environmentally promising to the company, and there's plenty of it in the Southwest and elsewhere. With a lot of consumers less than thrilled with the feel of alternatives like bamboo, Kimberly-Clark says they're encouraged, but they still need to test the plant to see if it would be as soft, pliable, and absorbent as their current products. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Those are important questions, Greg.
You also need a little durability there, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, soft, but not too soft.
Yes, a little durability, because they got one ply, they got two ply right there. Not all toilet paper is created equal.
Oh, isn't that the truth? This kind of reminds me of, remember a couple years back, it's not the same, but similar. A couple years back, we did a story on the Milwaukee business that had paper towels which they were made from 75% curbside recycled paper and cardboard. Remember that? It was Milwaukee-based sellers. Because before we did that story, I didn't know that. And I loved that because I love supporting local. And I thought, okay, the next time I see that in the store, I got to go after the Milwaukee-based paper towels.
I remember the bamboo discussion. High strength, comparable softness to premium traditional brands, regenerates rapidly, no pesticide treatments, right? There's a lot of idea around bamboo being a nice alternative. I've not heard of this most latest alternative for Kimberly-Clark, but a non-wood-based toilet paper is what they are seeking. But I'd not heard of this before.
Is it still toilet paper if it's not made with paper?
Well,
that's the question today.
That's a big, big question. 12:55.
You already know that Kessler's is the world's largest employee-owned group of jewelry stores.
We were recently told that Kessler's is the fastest growing group of jewelry stores in America.
Well, it just goes to show you.
Show you what?
That people like to feel good.
What do you mean?
Rick, you know how many people will drop by and look in the showcases and have some coffee and chat with their sales associates?
Yes.
That doesn't happen at other stores.
Really?
People come to Kessler's because it brightens their day.
It makes them feel good.
It certainly makes me feel good.
Tell me why.
Well, everyone's always in a good mood. And everything is clean and sparkling and romantic and happy.
It feels like sunshine and rainbows, doesn't it?
Sarah, that's exactly what it feels like.
When you're having a great day, come to Kessler's.
Have some coffee and let us clean your jewelry.
Our jewelry cleaning equipment is completely different than what you have at home.
And we're delighted to do it for free, of course.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
No matter where you hear WTMJ, whether it be here...
So we are overlooking the bay. We're in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studios.
Or there.
Here live in our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Catch us at home or on the go, thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
In the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin podcast studio.
We are live wherever you are, on the air and on the go. The Pella Windows and Doors podcast studio is live on WTMJ.com.
Vince Vitrano here, proud co-chair of UPAF's community campaign. Think about the performances that stayed with you this year. Milwaukee Rap, First Stage, The Symphony, or a powerful local production that moved you to your feet. Your gift to UPAF supports every one of these moments year-round. Funding local organizations, arts education, and access to performances across the community. Right now, Northwestern Mutual will match your new or increased gift of $1,200 or more. Donate today at upaf.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I'm WTMJ Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
The welcomeness. People are so friendly. If you have a problem, you can go to anybody. The community and the sense of safety provided for my mom and dad, and it's just like the most wonderful place to be.
They're just delightful, everyone. I don't see staff, I see friends. Oh. And I really do feel that.
And you couldn't live in more beautiful grounds.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right. Because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Hear from me, yours truly, Steve Scavidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
There's no place like home. And nothing like Brewers baseball.
0-2 pitch is lined out to right. This is headed for the seats. It is gone! Jake Bowers with an absolute laser.
The Brewers take on the Pirates tonight at American Family Field.
Struck him out swinging at 103.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, August 3rd. Your top story, watch out for scams after last week's storms.
I'm Jessica Ty. The cyclosporiasis outbreak is now deadly.
Sunny today, high 78 degrees. Clear tonight, a low of 64. Chance of rain more in the evening hours on Tuesday after a high of 84. 78 and sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 101. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, state officials warning homeowners to be on the lookout for scammers as they recover from last week's severe storms.
The Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection says residents should avoid hiring door-to-door contractors, often known as storm chasers, who promise quick repairs but may perform poor quality work or disappear after collecting payment. Officials recommend hiring established local contractors, getting written contracts, documenting all damage with photos, and contacting your insurance company before making repairs. Residents with questions can also contact the state's Consumer Protection Hotline. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
2 people are now dead in connection to the cyclosporiasis outbreak. The first deaths in Michigan. News Nation's Nicole Burley.
The state is now reporting 2 people have died in connection to the cyclospora outbreak. According to medical records, both people did have significant underlying health conditions. The CDC says there are cases in at least 45 states that parasite is being linked to shredded lettuce.
There are currently 160 cases of cyclosporiasis in Wisconsin.
Ohio's senior senator Bernie Moreno now calling for a member of his own party to leave Congress, posting about his ex-son-in-law, Ohio Congressman Max Miller, after allegations that Miller has abused his ex-wife, Moreno's daughter, and the couple's young daughter.
In a February police report obtained by ABC News, Moreno told authorities her daughter came back from staying with Miller and had a fractured collarbone and what appeared to be a handprint bruise on her shoulder. Moreno also detailed an alleged pattern of abuse against her, alleging Miller threw her against the wall weeks earlier and saying in 2024 he held a gun to her head and separately threw hot water on her. Moreno told authorities her toddler said, "Daddy, kill you."
That's ABC's Jay O'Brien. Miller has denied all allegations and says he's never been charged.
4 people are now in custody after gunfire broke out early this morning during an attempted car theft in Glendale. Officers were called to North Sydney Place for a report of armed people trying to steal a car. As officers were responding, shots were exchanged between people involved. 1 person was shot and taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police arrested a 33-year-old man and a 29-year-old woman from Glendale and 2 17-year-olds, one from Milwaukee, the other from Sheboygan.
And for the first time since trading Giannis to the Heat, Bucks co-owner Jimmy Haslam is speaking up. Haslam says the organization believed it had to get younger after years of trading away draft picks in chase of a championship. Speaking at the Cleveland Browns training camp, Haslam says,
"Listen, it's all about what you get, okay? And Giannis, generational player, won a championship. But we felt the need to get younger. He was the best asset we had. We had mortgaged our future going forward."
The Bucks acquired 4 players and multiple draft picks from Miami in that deal. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow surging up nearly 610 points at 53,093. Same deal for the NASDAQ, up 2.25%. That's 575 points at 25,948. And the S&P up about 110 points at 7602. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com. Click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, Easy 104.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration. Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media. Wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. PlumMedia.com.
Every homeowner has a list. That roof, those windows, that bathroom you've been meaning to update. If you've been putting off home improvements, you're not alone. At Exterior Pros and Baths, they help homeowners upgrade their homes with beautiful roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and bathrooms built to last. Right now, save up to $3,000 on your next project. Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
I'm Vince Vitrano, joined today by Dr. Corey Casper from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
So we treat a lot of joint issues, cartilage issues, also issues with tendons. So if you've got a knee that's just been bugging you, and maybe you've seen a doctor or two and they haven't given you many options outside of some steroid injections or surgery, that's where we come in and find other treatment options that may help your knee feel better.
Get started online now at orthowisconsin.com.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Following a 3-3 road trip, the Brewers are back home for 7 games, including a 4-game series, with the Pirates beginning tonight. By the time the Brewers take the field, the window to execute trades will have closed. What does Jacob Bizarowski think about all the trade rumors and discussion?
Trade deadline is 24 hours away now. What are your views?
I'm good. I don't want to answer it.
Even on the Dodgers?
I'm not even. Yeah, I'm good. So you can just stop the question.
Dodgers land 2-time Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal. The Cubs beef up their rotation, adding Kevin Gausman from the Blue Jays. The Braves swing a deal with the Giants for starting pitcher Tyler Mahle. And former Brewers ace Freddie Peralta goes to the Tampa Bay Rays. First padded practice of training camp is in the books for the Packers. Another strong day for second-year wide receiver Matthew Golden, who's expected to replace Romeo Doubs in the offense.
I feel like we got a good group, a lot of good guys on the team. We added some new additions. I feel like we're a real tight group right now. But for me, I know I can do a lot of good things. So whenever my number is called, I know I'm going to be able to perform with my best foot forward and just go out there and attack.
Packers begin the preseason August 13th against the Steelers.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic, and just like that, I got to refresh the computer. But good news for you here. The crash that was causing nasty delays in Racine County has now cleared. We love that. So we're doing pretty good. At this point, we're mostly dealing with just our construction delays around Milwaukee County and out in the Waukesha area as well. I do see one spot that I want to take a peek at here. I-94 East at the ramp from 68th Street. That's a busy spot. It's in our construction zone as well. Left lane is blocked due to a car that's broken down. And that's just a bad spot because it's right there in the slowdowns as usual due to the construction. And then boom, you've got a car that's broken down as well. So heads up there. It's extra slow right now. I-94 East at the ramp from 68th Street.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Sunny skies today, high 79 degrees. Clear tonight, low 64. Sunny, a little warmer on Tuesday with a high of 84. Chance of storms at night. And that could linger into Wednesday. Multiple rounds of rain possible on Wednesday with a high of 78. Some early rain on Thursday, then cloudy, a high 77. Sun returns on Friday with a high of 81. 78 and sunny in Milwaukee at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, State Fair begins this week. A reminder that we will be at the fair in its entirety with Wisconsin's Midday News. Except for the weekends. We're not showing up on the weekend, but we might be there going down the slide or grabbing a cream puff or your hot cheese that you like, Jessica.
I love that yellow slide. But yes, I was thinking about the slide. Then you said hot Wisconsin cheese. Yes, I love that too. That's just the best. The hot Wisconsin cheese. And some people are like, what is that? Is that a cheese curd? Mm-mm. It's a little bit different, and it's special, and it's spectacular.
Well, I know that you enjoy it each and every year. We enjoy being there each and every year. Thursday, we're a little shortened because of Brewers baseball, but come check us out at the fair Thursday afternoon and Friday, then all next week.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the work is not done. Wisconsin National Guard members spent the weekend up in the Fox Valley helping with recovery efforts after the tornado. It was 1 week ago today when an EF3 twister tore through the community. Appleton, Fox Crossing, and Menasha were the city's hardest hit. That tornado's path was 12 miles long. It lasted for 26 minutes. Convoy of Hope has a team helping in Menasha right now. The group has also helped with flooding in West Virginia, deadly flooding in Texas, and the earthquakes in Venezuela. We talked with the vice president of Convoy of Hope just minutes ago here on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, there's a lot of destroyed and damaged homes. I got to go through a lot of neighborhoods and see that destruction firsthand, and just talk to some of the people who are there who, man, you don't see this sort of thing coming. It just hits, and then now you're left with the results of it, whether it's you have to put a new roof on, you have to tarp up your roof, whether you need a whole house, whether you have to move into a hotel for a little while and start dealing with all the insurance issues. So people just need help, and that's what Convoy of Hope has been providing. And our response, it evolves over time. So we began with groceries and water and tarps for the roofs and totes so people could go into their yards and gather whatever belongings they could, put them in a tote to keep them safe from the weather that's still to come, because a lot of times rain follows, and it just helped people begin to get back on their feet a little.
That's going to take a while to get those people back on their feet. It's going to be months, and in some cases more than that. This group, Convoy of Hope, I mentioned some of the areas where it's already gone, dealing with deadly flooding across the country, dealing with earthquakes around the world in Venezuela. Well, just yesterday, they also responded to those terrible wildfires in Washington State. We've seen the destruction out there. It's unbelievable. By the way, the city of Milwaukee is also helping up in the Fox Valley. Yesterday, the Department of Public Works sent 2 rear-load packers and 4 workers up north to assist with the cleanup efforts.
Number 2, the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C., dropping charges against the former Olympian who President Trump targeted, saying he vandalized the reflecting pool.
This really was a stunning reversal by the Justice Department, dropping these vandalism charges against the former Olympic rower David Hearn. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro saying that Interior Department documents showed the contractor's botched job caused the damage, not Hearn. But the president is continuing to insist it was vandals that ruined his beautification project.
That's ABC White House correspondent Mary Bruce. So this goes back to early July. David Hearn was indicted on a felony charge. It carried up to a 10-year prison term. At the time, Pirro's office aggressively asserted there was tremendous evidence that Hearn had forcefully and violently ripped up the pool's newly installed blue liner. But in this 20-page court filing, prosecutors totally reversed their course, revealing that the pool sealant was peeling because of flawed installation by a Virginia-based contractor. This at a cost of roughly $18 million, by the way.
Number 3, gas prices could hit a new record this week. Even as oil prices sink on hopes there could be a deal in Iran, some experts think gas prices will continue to go up, possibly hitting a record.
Patrick DeHaans with the gas pricing site Gas Buddy and says no matter what happens in Iran, if prices stay close to where they are now, we're likely to hit a new record very soon.
After August 8th, if the national average is still above the $4 mark, it'll be the latest in the calendar year that we've ever seen that $4 a gallon mark still stick around.
The good news is that prices are still below the all-time record set in 2022 and that gasoline demand typically slows after the summer months, which could help slow those price increases overall. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
All right, here's where gas prices stand this afternoon. The average in Milwaukee County is $3.91 a gallon. It's closer to the $4 mark in Ozaukee County. The average up in Ozaukee County, $3.97. It's 10 cents less in Waukesha County. Racine County is $3.87 a gallon, and Kenosha County is $3.85. Well, has Milwaukee's building boom hit the brakes? We'll ask one of the city's top developers next. It's 1:14.
If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burghardt Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service, you can't beat Burghardt.
Siding Unlimited, truly siding and a whole lot more, and the best in the business when it comes to installation of high-quality products. All I have to do is look at my own house, and I can see the work Siding Unlimited did. They installed beautiful LP SmartSide siding about 10 years ago. I can confidently tell you this. The installation was fantastic. No color fading, no warping. Everything is as it was when installed in 2016. Pretty amazing stuff by Siding Unlimited, and they will do the same for you as they've done for me with siding, doors, windows, roofing products, you name it. It's Siding Unlimited, the best installers of high-quality products, period. Award-winning Siding Unlimited, family-owned and located in Brookfield, 665 Leary Court. That's where you'll find the showroom. Bring some thoughts and ideas out to them and say, hey, how can he help me out here? In a pinch, my windows aren't performing. I got a little air leak through my door. My shingles are not great on my roof. What can I do? Ask what Siding Unlimited can do for you and visit sidingunlimited.com.
Some days you watch the game. On WTMJ Day, you live it.
Back at the track.
Fire up the grill and join the WTMJ team on August 29th, or we watch the crew deliver the highlights.
We are all witnesses.
WTMJ Day is sponsored by Big Fish Contracting, Woodman's, and Left's Lucky Town.
Would you like fries with that?
We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Beautiful day today at 78 degrees, sunny. Overnight low 64 degrees. Rain in the forecast late tomorrow. Most of the day is dry and a little warmer with a high of 84 degrees. Multiple rounds of rain possible on Wednesday with a high in the upper 70s. 79 the high on Thursday under partly cloudy skies, and sun returns on Friday with a high of 81. 78 degrees, sunny in Milwaukee at 117.
If you feel like construction has hit the brakes around Milwaukee recently, you're not alone. Developers say 3 key factors determine whether projects move forward or stay on the drawing board. And we're breaking them down today with Josh Jeffers, founder and CEO of J. Jeffers & Company. It is time for Crane Watch. Are we going to stick with that sound? Do we need to vote on this sound? What do you think?
I like it. I think it's, yes, that's work being done. I want to hear it.
That's right. Mechanical equipment.
So you've actually had people ask you this very question recently. Why has construction fallen off a cliff? Is that an accurate description of what's happening?
It is actually an accurate description. You know, construction starts are down quite a bit throughout Metro Milwaukee over the last year or so.
So what is leading to it, Josh? And we talk so much about housing affordability. All of a sudden, inflation has become a hot topic really over the last several years, but more specifically the last couple. Is that part of it? You feel like you're on stable ground with your construction project, and all of a sudden those material costs, labor costs, cost of everything just ballooned past your budget?
Yeah, that really, inflation is a huge part of it. You know, real estate development, in some respects, it's a very complicated business, but in other ways, it's actually very simple. You know, I can demystify it and say it does. It basically comes down to, you know, really 3 variables. You've got what's happening with interest rates, what's happening with construction costs, and what's happening with rents. Those 3 things kind of determine whether or not your project is financially feasible.
Which one is causing the biggest headache right now?
Interest rates. Interest rates are up so much.
So if the Fed lowers interest rates, how much would that help developers, especially here in our area?
It would help pretty significantly. You know, just to put it in perspective, about 5 years ago, 2020 and 2021, interest rates were at the federal level near 0%, and it had been like that for a while. Starting in 2022, 2023, the Fed started increasing rates so much. I think they landed over 5% in 2023. Since then, they're actually down a little bit, It's now about 3.5% higher than it was back then. But if you go again back, 5 years ago or so, as a developer, you could borrow at 3% to 4% interest rates. In fact, we closed on the renovation of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel block of buildings in 2021 at 2.32%. We were celebrating in the streets when that happened. But now, rates are up about 3.5%, which means that interest rates, for a developer such as myself, are around, 6.5% to 7%. It's basically double what it was before.
So you may have some developers, Josh, who are just hitting the pause button. I'm not getting into this game yet. It's just not a good time. You have others who have started and they can't finish the project. So how does it work in the development world? If I'm a developer and I commit to a project, we've got it dug, we've got the plans, everything is a go, all the permitting and everything. I've started construction, but I can't finish it. Do I look for another developer to sort of take over the project and make sure I don't lose gobs and gobs of money? You know what I mean? The long term is that this will be, a profitable venture. But if you can't make it to the finish line, how do you get out without losing yourself?
Well, in an ideal world, when the project closes, the developer secured all the financing to begin with. And, this enters now this leads to the second big problem we've seen, which is construction costs go up so much. And, there are a lot of ways of structuring a construction contract. One of the most common ways of putting together these contracts is through what's called a guaranteed maximum price, right? So you lock in the price as a developer. But, the construction costs have gone up anywhere from 40 to 60% also in roughly the last 5 years. And, the headlines have just been littered with exactly what you're talking about, where there's a project that's talked about, that's underway, costs go up a lot, and it crushes the feasibility of it.
Are there projects you would like to build today, but simply don't make financial sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I know of many other developers as well. And then here's the challenging thing is that it's not for a lack of demand. There's still demand for more apartment units. There's demand for, believe it or not, even more office space. There are 60, 70, 80,000 square foot tenants out there in downtown Milwaukee that, would love for a developer to build them a new building. The problem is that this leads to that third variable. We talked about interest rates, we talked about construction costs. It leads to rents, right? Rents just got to go up. And at this point in the cycle...
That just made a lot of people cringe, though. Rents just got to go up.
That's it. And unfortunately, we've kind of been to this movie before. Back in, 2011, 2012, 2013, coming out of the global financial crisis of 08, 09, we were in kind of a similar point to where we are right now. There are a lot of differences, but in terms of the cycle, it's kind of a similar time to about 2011, 2012. And back then, what you saw was every year there's more and more demand. It's just getting more and more pent up. Developers aren't building. There's not a lot of construction happening. And then finally, something breaks where, you've got so much pent up demand that some of those whether it's apartment renters or office users, they'll finally say, you know what? I'll just pay whatever it takes to build a new building. And then you start to see construction picking up again. And now you've reestablished the high watermark for rents, and it just continues to grow from there.
Is the cost of doing business in Milwaukee, from a development perspective, similar to Chicago, or is there still a gap to where a Chicago developer could say, well, we're priced out. We're facing the same issues here in Chicago as they are in Milwaukee, but for us, Milwaukee's still kind of a bargain.
It's a bargain.
Let's us move in.
Absolutely. Milwaukee is still a bargain relative to a Chicago or some of the other major metros. So that's a good thing. And you've seen a lot of development happening along the I-94 corridor. There's been a lot of demand and growth coming up from Illinois. So that is something that's still going in our favor.
What's the first sign that you'll be watching for that tells you construction is about to pick back up again?
I think at this point, absent, so there's a whole other thing to this. Absent there being some gigantic subsidy that comes out to just help, incentivize new development, to get started, which has happened in the past. Absent something like that, it probably is a reduction in interest rates. Everyone was watching very carefully last week. The Fed held rates constant. There's some talk right now of maybe those rates could come down a little bit next year. But kind of where we started with this conversation, if rates were to come down even 50 basis points, a full 100 basis points or 1%, that would make a tremendous difference.
Is it possible to refinance these deals as well? So if you get it on a major development project today, that 30-story high-rise, Can you refinance it if those rates do go down? Does it work the same as, if you were a homeowner?
It does. It is. It's like being a homeowner. So if if rates come down quite a bit and you have the opportunity to refi, that is something that applies to developers as well. And there has been a fair amount of that happening in the background. A lot of construction loans, these tend to be bridge loans. They're only 2-3 years, maybe 4 years at the longest. And where there's been a lot of pain point, in the last year or so, is that many of these loans, I just talked about one from 5 years ago that was at 2.32%. I can't refinance that rate at 2.32% anymore.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be more like 6 or 7%.
Okay, so I'm dying to know, and I don't know that you can tell us, but when I asked you, are there projects you would like to build today, but that just don't make financial sense? You said yes. And then you kind of gave us like some general things.
Yes.
Is there one that you could just tell us, I would love to do this right now, or is that under lock and key because we have other developers listening?
I could give you some hints. How about that?
Okay, yes, I will take some hints.
I could give you some hints. We happen to own a certain building on the Milwaukee River, right at the confluence of all the rivers in downtown Milwaukee. It's a very well-known building.
Great spot.
It's a great spot. It's a historic rehab, which is what we love to do. It's a very iconic building that we've had a couple of different ideas for it. We bought it in 2020, again, totally different interest rate environment. And this is something where we've got some pretty interesting plans for this property, but we just need to wait a little bit longer for the conditions to materialize.
Okay, I like it. There was a twinkle in his eye.
The developer twinkle. We always like to hear that. We all want to know.
That's Josh Jeffers, founder and CEO of J. Jeffers & Company. For Crane Watch this week, thanks so much.
Thank you.
You know what scared Kathy more than surgery? Giving up her active life, turning down opportunities to do the things she loves.
I found myself saying, no, I don't want to do that because of pain. It was really limiting my activities in every way.
And then came the diagnosis.
You need 2 full knee replacements. I don't have time for a double knee replacement, and I don't like pain, so no.
But that's not how her story ends. She tried something different, QC Kinetics. It was cutting edge, but natural and much easier on her body, with thousands of patient success stories.
I went to QC Kinetics. Within a couple of weeks, I was absolutely pain-free, no pain. I feel fantastic. Too much life to live, and I want to stay in motion as long as I possibly can.
Don't let pain decide what you say yes or no to. Live your best life. They'll make sure of it at QC Kinetics, starting with a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Greg Matzik here reminding you that Horicon Bank is celebrating 130 years of doing banking differently in the state of Wisconsin. That is an amazing story. Founded back in 1896 in the town of Horicon. Now, Horicon Bank is opening doors with newer branches in New Berlin and Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls and Grafton, even West Bend. Horicon Bank, still doing all that it takes to get your business off the ground and meeting its cash flow objectives. And doing banking differently with financing requests that can be approved in days and not weeks. Your banker understands you and your business and how the two go hand in hand. That's the difference with Horicon Bank. Plus, it's all local. This is a true Wisconsin bank. Community-minded with a focus on you and your business. It's Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. And member FDIC.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Is your life stuck in constant stress mode? Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension. Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic, my team that can help, not just mask symptoms, but find the root cause. Connect Chiro specializes in neurologically focused chiropractic care, helping your nervous system function the way it's designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. Helping our community live healthier, more energized lives. Go connectchiro.com.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Hildebrand of Hildebrand Law Firm. Since 2001, we've proudly helped Milwaukee families and business owners protect what matters most. We combine the experience of a larger law firm with the personal attention you deserve. We take the time to listen, explain your options, and create a plan that's right for you. When the stakes are high, you need trusted legal advocates who will stand by your side every step of the way. Protect your family, your legacy, and your peace of mind. Visit hildebrandlawfirm.net to schedule a consultation today.
WTMJ's Eric Billstead here. It's been more than 3 years, and I'm telling you, my garage doors from J.D. Griffiths still look brand new. They pop. J.D. Griffiths has been installing garage doors and building detached garages for decades, and right now, J.D. Griffiths wants to do something for you. The first 10 people to go to the website and mention WTMJ can get $100 off a garage renovation, $100 off a new door, or $500 toward a new garage build. Go to jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ right now.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, August 3rd. Your top story, Medicaid changes for Badger Care recipients.
I'm Jessica Ty. What you need to vote in Wisconsin's partisan primary.
Sunny skies today, high 78 degrees, clear tonight, and a low of 64. It's currently 78 in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. President Trump saying new Iran talks would start today, but Iran says they're not talking with the U.S., but that it is close to a deal with Oman to create a temporary route through the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Matt Rivers and Amon Jordan.
When you're talking about control of that waterway, the two countries directly on that strait would be those two countries, the Iranians and Oman.
Hundreds of homes reported burned to the ground by wildfires in Spokane, Washington, say fire officials. ABC's Alex Stone in Spokane.
More than 7,000 acres burning. Home after home burned to the ground. Residents and their family members are coming back to find what's left.
2 deaths have been reported in the parasitic stomach bug outbreak in Michigan, says the state health department. 2 Republican senators who delayed the Todd Blanche nomination for Attorney General say they're satisfied Blanche has met their demands. A Judiciary Committee vote is expected tomorrow. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 1:31. Thousands of Badger Care recipients could lose their health coverage under new federal Medicaid work requirements. Wisconsin Department of Health Services Secretary Kristen Johnson says residents enrolled in Badger Care Plus will likely have to prove they're working, attending school, or volunteering to keep that health coverage.
We estimate this work requirement will affect about 200,000 members in our state and put approximately 63,000 members at immediate risk of losing their health care coverage.
The DHS says it will begin notifying affected Medicare members later this month. The federal changes begin next year.
If you're planning to vote in Wisconsin's Democratic primary, now's the time to make sure you have the right ID. The Department of Transportation is reminding voters that a real ID is not required to cast a ballot, but an approved form of identification is. Anyone who needs a Wisconsin ID can start the process online or visit a DMV service center. Eligible voters who do not receive their ID before Election Day can use a receipt from the DMV to vote. The primary is coming up next Tuesday, August 11th.
Decision Wisconsin. The Democratic race for governor could come down to a familiar Wisconsin divide.
UW-Milwaukee political science professor Mordecai Lee says with the field narrowing, regional support could become one of the biggest factors in the final days of the campaign.
When you see the blue-red maps of how counties vote in Wisconsin, you see all this red of up north. You see 2 little squares that are blue. One is Dane County and one is Milwaukee County.
Lee tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News.
The media market that Crowley's very well known in will say, well, if it's down to the 2 of them, I'll go with the candidate I'm more familiar with. And the Madisonians will say the same thing.
The Democratic primary for governor is August 11th. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee Parks Foundation plans to invest millions into the county park system. They announced a goal to raise about $10 million, mostly through philanthropy efforts, by 2029. Money will go towards park infrastructure, community programs, and neighborhoods with the greatest needs. The foundation hopes to engage more people in park events and volunteer opportunities.
Investors gearing up for a fresh round of corporate earning reports later this week. Milwaukee-based Rockwell Automation headlines the week for Wisconsin companies when it reports on Tuesday. SpaceX, Disney, McDonald's, Eli Lilly also on the earnings calendar. Annex Wealth Management CEO Dave Spano on WTMJ.
Earnings season is expected this year to be up around 25%. That's a huge year. And next year, per FactSet, which is a lot of advisors look at that, is expected to be around somewhere between 12 and 15% in 2027.
Investors will also be watching this week's employment report for the latest snapshot of the U.S. economy.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. You've heard me talking about our incredible Croatia and Slovenia adventure in fall of 2027. I knew it'd be popular, but even I was surprised when it sold out so fast. The good news, there's still an opportunity to experience the same custom itinerary created for WTMJ listeners by my favorite travel company, Colette. I won't be on the departure, but it's an unforgettable itinerary, a 7-night cruise on a chartered small ship, fairy tale cities, picture-perfect islands, the Adriatic and Dalmatian coast. It's incredible. Cobblestone streets, crystal waters. Colette handles all the details, flights, meals, hotels, local experiences, a full-time guide with you from start to finish. There are only 18 cabins on the ship. Makes it special, but space is limited. Text Croatia to 855-616-1620 for all the info, including pricing. CROATIA to 855-616-1620. Croatia 2027.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone in crisis. 988 has experienced tremendous growth and more statewide counselors are needed. Staffed by Family Services, 988 counselors work remotely, are offered flexible hours, competitive compensation, benefits, and training. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The best bat is off the market. In advance of today's 5 o'clock deadline to make a trade in baseball, Luis Arias goes from the Giants to the Phillies. He leads the National League in hitting with a .328 average. Four of the best starting pitchers on the market have new homes, including Freddie Peralta, who's being traded to the Rays. What does that leave for the Brewers in the trade market?
Relief pitching, and that's where Luke Weaver right now is the best available arm on the market. He's got signed for another year. Milwaukee wants help. Pittsburgh wants help. Frankly, everyone wants help.
ESPN's Jeff Passan. On the field, the Brewers begin a 4-game series with the Pirates tonight at American Family Field. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur with instructions for his team on day one of pads being worn at practice.
I don't want him to come anywhere near the quarterback. You can't get close to him. There's going to be a time and a place for that, and that'll be in our first preseason game.
Cornerback Carrington Valentine being held out of practice today with a leg injury.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Good news here, all of our crashes have cleared. We love that. We do have a couple disabled vehicles out in the system. Most aren't causing problems. One of the newer ones is in a busy spot, however. Heads up here, I-43 North at Wisconsin 145 Fond du Lac Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. Greg, what I am taking note of now that our crashes have cleared, when I look at the cameras and check out these disabled vehicles to see if they are causing problems, I'm seeing right now sunny skies. It just looks nice on this Monday afternoon.
Yeah, nice day to be stuck in traffic. Is that such a thing? Does anybody really ever want to be stuck in traffic? It's one of those things
Why would you want to be stuck in traffic? The answer is no.
It's really a dumb question, I guess. Traffic is one of those things I really don't understand.
Or if you're dreading going somewhere.
Yes.
You just don't want to be there. And you're like, well, okay, I might miss that.
Am I alone in that? I know how construction can slow things down. I understand how accidents can really put a wrench in your ability to get from point A to point B. But otherwise, how does traffic become a thing? Right? Aren't we all moving? Aren't we all moving at a reasonable amount of speed where it shouldn't be gridlock?
No, sometimes we're not.
It's just one of those things
The
I
good
don't
thing is we are right now.
get. Well, let's welcome in Lindsay Slater. She's got all the traffic ideas and thoughts in her head, along with a beautiful forecast for today. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, guys. Oh, you had me cackling back here.
Traffic sucks, man,
dear.
right? That's one of those bipartisan issues.
You know, it is. Yeah, I seriously will be in my car and I'm like so angry about it. I have to like hold it in. I'm one of those people that get very mad. Because I'm used to like going to work at like 3 a.m. and there was never traffic. I just had to worry about where the policemen were. So,
That's so true. And there weren't a lot out there, I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. When I worked those hours too, Lindsay, I don't know about you, but I saw some scary stuff. I'll never forget the one time there was somebody going down the wrong way and somebody coming up the loop the wrong way over in Tosa. And yeah, that's not a great time to be out on the roads.
Especially holidays, too. You had to really watch, like, people are out late and you're getting up super early. So, absolutely. Now I'm dealing with all the traffic because of AmFam and all that stuff. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, we're all in it together. Luckily, we're in a great stretch of weather here after we get out of the rain from over the weekend, and there was plenty of it. Much needed. I hope it didn't cause too many issues or any issues in basements or things like that. But finally, we dry out a little bit. What a gorgeous day.
Today's probably the pick day of the work week. It's not terribly humid by any means. I went for a high of 79 today. It's mostly sunny. We have a breeze off the lake. This is a picture-perfect summer day in southeast Wisconsin. But we do have more rain that will be on the way. Tomorrow we'll be at 85. Clouds are going to pick up. And anytime it starts to get like really cloudy, it kind of gives you almost a heads up. Like, okay, the weather, something's coming here. Something is changing. So the clouds are going to pick up. I do think some rain could start to inch in as we head towards late evening, overnight Tuesday. And then we have, as we've discussed, my least favorite frontal boundary, the stationary front, the one that just wiggles back and forth. And this guy is going to hang out in the Midwest. And as it does so, it wiggles back and forth and gives us these rounds of rain. However, models are not really good at kind of figuring out where that boundary will set up. Where does it stop? So the heaviest axis of rain could very well be over us. It could be Madison to Sheboygan. It could be Rockford to Milwaukee. It could quite frankly be over Chicago. It's not a very big area of difference, but that is the difference between getting an inch of rain or over 4 inches of rain. So it's rounds of rain on and off through the day on Wednesday. So that's our rainy day. At this point, nothing looks particularly strong to me. There's no real energy. It's just these garden variety scattered showers and thunderstorms. Then we'll go back into those upper 70s on the first day of the state fair. I'm hoping everything gets out early in the morning. The afternoon looks really good. And quite frankly, the first weekend of the fair, from what I can see as of today, it does look like it's hot and humid, which you don't want the state fair any other way, right?
Oh, isn't that the truth? But when you say hot and humid, I was looking at Friday's forecast, high of 81. I'm thinking that's not too bad because you know how it is sometimes. You go up to state fair and there are some days where it's just brutal and you're running to go get that iced lemonade or whatever you want, the fresh squeezed lemonade. That's a favorite of yours, isn't it, Greg?
Yes, it feels like a true rite of passage in the summer, right? You tip the college kids, right? They shake it for you. They toss the lemon in it. Yes, every year at the fair, it's my first beverage.
So we're looking
to have to get that.
You never had. So what's your favorite at the fair?
Oh my gosh, I love me a corn dog. I love corn dogs.
Really?
Like. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But now they have so I have a gluten issue. I'm not celiac, but I have a gluten issue. And so they do have a gluten-free one, and I'll be darned if it tastes the same. And I'm like, oh, good. I won't die later. This is perfect. So,
well, that is good.
Team corn dog.
You can have all my corn dogs.
It's usually a hit at the state fair, but the Storm Chaser is usually out there. Lindsay, are you going to be on the grounds? I know there's always a long line to see Niz and get his autograph and pictures taken with him.
Oh, of course. Yes. I think I'm out there next week. This week I'm filling in for Niz at night the rest of this week, and I think I'm filling in for Lauren on Saturday, so I don't think I'll be out there this weekend. Someone in our team is definitely going to be out there with the Chaser. Absolutely. I think I will be out there sometime next week. So feel free to stop by, say hello. I definitely need to get this lemonade now. I've always seen it, but I've always been worried it would be too sugary. Is it actually like is it refreshing?
It is refreshing, and it's insanely sugary, which means it's delicious. They also have kind of a diet option. I don't know what they put in it.
They do have a diet option?
Well, it's not quite the same, but they do have that if that's the path you choose.
Absolutely. Honestly, go for real. I'll go for real sugar all day.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had it. I like the cream puff latte that they had last year. That was yummy over at the Dairy Building. And I've also had a cream puff beer in the past. Not during work
There's
hours,
a beer?
Well, there was definitely a beer years ago. And then it was no longer there under the name, but I asked about it and somebody said, oh, but it's really just this. And so I ordered that, but it wasn't.
Secret menu.
But I think, now I'd have to look back on this. We'll have to get back to you tomorrow. But I think they might have just brought the cream puff ale back this year.
I did see a note about that.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Yep, that is
Sounds
coming back.
familiar.
I've not tried that, though. It sounds pretty good.
Okay. Lindsay,
don't forget about the milk.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yes, the milk. I don't know what price it is this year, but it's no longer just a quarter. Lindsay,
it's not a quarter anymore.
I know, not anymore. Before we let you go, just real quickly, because I think some people are going to want to know about this, can you just give us the rain totals from the weekend? Because it did feel like it rained so long.
yeah.
And I know MMSD had a water drop alert, and then there was some discharge and whatnot, and some people are just wondering, how much did we actually get?
So actually, the MMSD website does a phenomenal job of really keeping track with those rain gauges. That's just one good resource I use. And the Weather Service also as well has their own sites. I've seen rain totals anywhere from 2 inches all the way up to even 6 inches. So it just depends on where you are. In the metro area, it was kind of on the 2 to 3 inch is what I kind of saw generally speaking. Yes, this does mean that maybe your personal rain gauge might have recorded more, and that's just how storms are. You might get fatter droplets. You might have had a storm stall a little bit over your location versus others. So that's why there will be anomalies. But generally for Milwaukee, I saw anywhere between 2 and 3 inches. A little bit further west, we did get some higher amounts like the 4, 5, and 6 inch numbers. We saw a couple of those pop up there. So yeah, it was much needed rainfall. When you have drought conditions, at least it was more of a gentle and moderate long-term rain versus just like a huge storm that would just be runoff the whole time. So it was much needed. And I don't know about you guys, it feels like my grass was like, oh, wait, I am alive. Hello, welcome back. It's green again. It was brown for the longest time. So it's alive.
No doubt. Yeah, a lot of people in that boat. Lindsay, we appreciate it. Enjoy the day today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lindsay.
You bet, guys. Have a good day.
It is 1:46. Wisconsin's Midday News continues after this.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
WTMJ's Jessica Ty for Steinhoffels. Upgrade your sleep and save on Beauty Rest. Right now at Steinhoffels, get a free foundation with your Beauty Rest mattress purchase. Queen start at only $14.99. Or step up to the luxury of a Beauty Rest Black King adjustable base set and get $500 instant savings just like that. Plus, with Steinhoffels' 60-month financing, better sleep has never been more affordable. Don't overpay for a great night's sleep. Shop in store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax. It's Steinhoffels.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. My motorized retractable awning is already saving me from that hot summer sun. I love that I can enjoy my patio year-round thanks to Comfort Awnings. I just retract it when I want the sun and extend it when I need the shade. Comfort Awnings even come equipped with sensors that detect rain and strong winds. This year, reclaim your outdoor space for your friends and family to enjoy every season Wisconsin has to offer. Right now, get $250 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Business owners and right-hand men and women, when you make the catering call for your office gathering, make it Marty's Pizza for pizza, pasta, subs, wings, appetizers, and more. Delivered in our heated oven delivery trucks. Our catering delivery range has expanded all the way east into Brookfield. Just log on to martyspizza.net for easy online ordering. Or give us a call at 262-646-3327. 262-646-3327.
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. That was an easy riddle. Learn more at progressive.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
Kristen, did you know that only 40% of Americans have done any estate planning and only 40% of those have been properly updated?
When it comes to wills, trusts, and probate, there's a lot at stake. I needed someone who specializes in estate planning. At Walney Legal Group, that's all they do.
No intimidating lawyers. They just provide customized, friendly, easy experience. They call it lawyering the way it should be. So whether you need your estate planning reviewed
or just getting started, visit WALNYlegal.com.
Well, the calendar has flipped to August. Summer vacation starting to wind down for millions of kids around the country. Getting back into that school routine, especially with regard to sleep, a little easier said than done.
Health experts say it's important to remain consistent with those earlier wake-up times through the weekend. Parents should also focus on good sleep habits. Experts say getting morning light can help jumpstart a child's brain for the day, something as simple as going outside or turning on lights. And parents should watch for signs their children aren't getting enough sleep. And of course, as with everything, experts say parents should try and model good behavior by getting enough sleep themselves. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Yeah, for some, you might start mid-August. Others might start right around Labor Day, somewhere along that line. So maybe you've got anywhere from between, 2 weeks to a month before your kids go back to school. But nonetheless, on our drive back from Galena yesterday, I said, kids, the calendar is flipped to August. That means time to start reading a little bit more, time to start, re-engaging your mind a little bit more, try and get to more routine bedtimes and wake-up times, things along that line. It does make a difference. It definitely makes a difference, especially in those first couple of weeks.
So are your girls excited to go back, or do they not want to go back, or they have the jitters? Because every kid's a little bit different.
They both enjoy school. So going back to school, that's not an issue, but they are also enjoying their summer very much, which I totally get, right? Camps and outside and water balloon fights and, s'mores by the fire, that kind of thing. It just sets a different routine once you get back to school. So a couple of things happen here in the month of August. You've got that, trying to make sure your kids don't slide too far away from what they knew and what they learned the year before, right? Just re-engage the mind a little bit. And then there's also the monumental task of school shopping, which my wife said, hey, we got to knock this out in the next couple of weeks. And then we had the story today where, on average, parents will spend nearly $900 per child on back-to-school items. This covers activities, clothing, basic supplies that your school district might set out. I'm going to have to do a calculation to see if we fit into that category. We're public school, not private. That certainly makes a difference. But the cost of sending your kids back to school is not cheap anymore.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the clothing alone, that can add up so much. And a lot of times the kids are growing so fast, so they don't fit into last year's stuff. But maybe, they get some hand-me-downs, and sometimes the kids like that because big sis wore it. And then other times they're like, I don't want the hand-me-downs. That can be tough. I remember way back in the day, I was so excited to go clothes shopping because my mom said we can go clothes shopping. But the reason was when I was a kid, I had gone to a Catholic school, St. Catherine's, all the way up until 5th grade. I moved to Elm Grove in the 5th grade, then went to Tonawanda. Well, at St. Catherine's, I had to wear a uniform. Then all of a sudden I didn't have to wear a uniform. So this whole new world opened. But that meant we had to go school shopping for clothes, and I loved it. Not sure the pocketbook liked it, but I loved it. It was fun.
So here's the breakdown. So spending breakdown per child. After school activities and sports, about $337. Clothing and shoes, on average, $275. School supplies, which includes backpacks and lunchboxes, an average of $118. I might push back on that. I think the backpack is like $50 to $60.
Well, then if you're bringing a brown bag lunch, that helps.
Well, that too. And then you've got your technology. So tablets, laptops, calculators. Those are school issued from the tablet standpoint. Calculator, we're still kind of in the younger stages of our daughter's schooling, so those calculators aren't terribly elaborate. You can probably get by with a pretty cheap one at this point.
Not the TI-92 yet?
It's not the TI anything, thankfully. That definitely brings a new amount of cost to it. But yes, our school district sends out a list of things. If you want to arm your child for school, you got to buy stuff on this list.
Is there anything unique on the list this year or in the past couple of years where all of a sudden you're like, well, that's something different?
No, not really. But what I found is that it's very communal. You need 8 glue sticks.
Oh, that's
right. You need 9 of this and 4 of these and 5 of these and 3 things of Kleenex and all that. So you're kind of buying for the classroom instead of just your individual child. And I get why they do that. I understand it. I just don't really remember that being the case when I was in elementary school. Of course, that was 40 years ago. Different times, I get it. But yeah, I feel like you're buying for the classroom, which is inclusive of your own child.
Are the girls color coding yet? Like the folders to the notebooks? Do they do that kind of thing?
No, see, we haven't been to the store yet. They will. They will. We just haven't done it yet.
I think Target. I think it was June. Target was already moving some gardening stuff out to have the back to school section in. I couldn't believe it. June,
Yeah.
late June.
That is a bit early. There is a store near us that is also a big-time grocery store that partners with our school district. So you just walk down the aisle, and that you essentially have your list, and you're boom, 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 boom. They create a separate aisle just for the stuff you need to go back to school. That's pretty smart. You get it done pretty quick.
Yeah, well, happy back to school shopping.
Yeah, looking forward to that. It's 1:54 here on WTMJ. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast is built by Side Again Limited. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us. Also, a reminder that we are on YouTube. So that means you can hop into our studio, you can see what we're doing, what we're wearing, what we're talking about, clips, current shows,
what's Greg
you name
wearing
it.
today?
It's usually
He always looks sharp.
kind of a polo or some sort of quarter zip-up. Did you look to see if I was wearing jeans or shorts?
Very rarely are you wearing shorts.
That's not
Unless
common.
it's Summerfest or
It's not
State
common.
Fair. Yeah. Tennis shoes. I bet you're wearing tennis shoes, though. I can't see.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I own. It's 1:55.
Capri Communities presents Golden Memories from the Wisconsin State Fair.
My name is Jeannie. Our tradition is always to come to the State Fair and meet at Millie's. There is a memorial bench there that honors my husband, so that's where we meet. Then we have a Millie's. My family and I have been doing the Cream Puff 5K for 5 years now in memory of my husband.
Join Capri Communities at the Wisconsin State Fair Monday, August 10th for Senior Day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Sounds good. Hey, for 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If you got a busted garage door, the opener's not working quite right, just give my friends at Geis a call today. They will help you out. They have incredible brands and an unbelievable inventory. CHI, LiftMaster, in stock, ready to go for you. Doors and openers for every budget. A custom design center. They really have all of your needs met at Geis. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, check out geistdoors.com or visit the showroom like I did. It's off Barker Road in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers, that incredible inventory, the custom design room, all the things I mentioned, and all the things that separate Geis from the rest. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit geistdoors.com.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Hear from me, yours truly, Steve Scavidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
Sure, first pitch is important, but real Brewers fans know the real warm-up starts in the parking lot. Join us for WTMJ Day, the fan-focused tailgate before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th, presented by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's, with catering by Left's Lucky Town. Text WTMJ to 855-616-1620 right now. WTMJ Day, before the Brewers game on Saturday, August 29th. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Meet Jim and Rita. We went on a motorcycle trip. But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident. They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital. Sometime later, Rita made a discovery. She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there? And amazingly, he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's. And I had my checkbook in my hand. But when he arrived there, and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty. Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty. It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's Miraculous No Small Print Warranty yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
You've probably gotten really good at working around your nonstop joint pain. That's what multitasking women like you do, right? When your knees and hips scream, you shift your weight when you're standing too long. Skip workouts on really bad days when your shoulder's stiff. There's no way you're kneeling down. You might not get back up. Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Maybe your doctor has told you it's pain from arthritis. You're going to need surgery. Before you make that decision, get a second opinion from Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics, because there's no undo button from surgery, especially a replacement. QC Kinetics Dr. Caravelli works with busy women just like you to keep you going while the regenerative treatments go to work, relieving that knee pain. No scalp and long recovery, just your body's natural healing process that may help some patients totally avoid surgery. That's exactly why women like you have turned to QC Kinetics here in Greenfield and Mequon to continue to get better when life goes on. The consultation and conversation to explore your options, that's free, courtesy of QC Kinetics. So call and schedule today, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. QC Kinetics.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
There's no place like home, and nothing like Brewers baseball.
0-2 pitch is lined out to right. This is headed for the seats. It is gone! Jake Bowers with an absolute laser.
The Brewers take on the Pirates tonight at American Family Field.
Struck him out swinging at 1:03.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, August 3rd. Your top story, the power back on in the Fox Valley.
I'm Jessica Ty. A proposed data center in Wisconsin backed by a former New York mayor.
Sunny today, high 78. Clear tonight, a low of 64. Sunny and warmer on Tuesday. Chance of rain in the evening with a high of 84. 76 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 2:01. From the WTMJ, breaking news room, it's been a week since an EF3 tornado destroyed portions of the Fox Valley, and the cleanup efforts are paying off. Appleton Mayor Jake Woodford.
The city of Appleton is already transitioning from preliminary debris cleanup to collection, and We Energies has restored power to all of our residents. We weathered a water boil order together, and now all residents in the valley have access to safe drinking water.
About 80% of those residents in Menasha have had their power restored. Menasha, the hardest hit city in the valley. The tornado was on the ground for about 20 minutes, causing 12 miles of damage in Winnebago County.
The search continues this afternoon for 2 kayakers missing near Washington Island in Door County.
From 1232 West Monroe. It's going to be for 2 parties, 20-year-old male and a 20-year-old female that left in a red and white kayak. They did not have life jackets on.
Both in their 20s. That's scanner audio from Broadcastify. Washington Island police were called to the east side of the island Saturday night when a man and a woman went kayaking and didn't return. The U.S. Coast Guard and local fire and police departments are still searching with the help of drones.
Former New York City Mayor Eric Adams touting a proposed data center project in central Wisconsin.
Adams spent Saturday in Wisconsin Rapids as part of a town hall on the PNK Group-led data center proposal that could be built along the Wisconsin River. Many in attendance responded negatively to Adams' appearance, who says data center development is inevitable.
If we like it or not, folks, data centers are going to be here.
Adams was indicted in 2024 on several federal charges, which were later dropped by the Trump administration. Local leaders say no decisions on the project will be made until there's been more public discussion. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
New warnings from the FBI and the EPA as a new wave of cyber attacks hits water systems across the country. At least 7 states now report attacks targeting their systems. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer.
Federal officials say these cyber attacks have locked people out of systems, even led to boil water notices in some places. We know Michigan is now reporting cyber attacks on 9 of its water systems. 7 other states have reported similar incidents. Minnesota authorities said 30 water systems in their state were recently targeted. Officials in Minnesota, though, stressing these cyber attacks did not impact water quality.
Investigators are pointing their attention to Iranian hackers. Wisconsin has not been hit.
Holdout Republican Senators John Cornyn and Tom Tillis say they will vote to advance Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General. Overnight, Blanche formally rescinded the order that established the so-called anti-weaponization fund as part of President Trump's settlement with the IRS. ABC's Catherine Folders.
It means that he'll almost certainly clear the committee vote. That is what has been the holdup. This was supposed to happen last week, and because of these two senators who sit on the Senate Judiciary Committee, he was not going to get the votes. He needs the votes for his nomination then to advance to the full Senate floor. So this is a hurdle that he obviously needed to clear. It appears that he will clear it. The hearing is scheduled for tomorrow morning. That's when Chairman Grassley has scheduled it for. So he'll get past that, but then he needs to be confirmed by the full Senate.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A great day in the markets here. The Dow up nearly 700 points at 53,164. NASDAQ is up nearly 600 points. It's about 2.25% at 25,960. And the S&P having a great day, up about 120 points at 7609. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Tracking deals made before the trade deadline. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
August is Sandwich Month, and Easy Cater is rolling out a new surprise deal every week from August 3rd through 30th. That means every order of delicious sandwiches for your team comes with a side of something special just for you. From cheesesteaks and cubanos to pita pockets and pastrami, Easy Cater makes it easy to bring everyone's favorite sandwiches to work and rack up big rewards while you're at it. New week, new deal, all August long. Visit easycater.com to place your next order and take a bite out of Sandwich Month. Restrictions apply. See offer details at easycater.com.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Well, we are inching closer to WTMJ Day at American Family Field. You could join us Saturday, August 29th. It's going to be a great time. Brewers take on the Rangers. That Saturday night affair will be preceded by a fun tailgate party with us, and you can be a part of it. Food and drinks and hanging out with us. Tickets to the game. Brewers take on the Rangers. Should be a great night. More information and ticket deals right now online at WTMJday.com. Tickets are going fast. Not a ton available, so you want to get in on this. WTMJday.com is where you need to go. Hope to see you at the ballpark for our day with you. Saturday, August 29th, sponsored by Big Fish Contracting and Woodman's with catering courtesy of Leff's Lucky Town.
Attention travelers! The Fox World Travel Vacation Showcase is coming to Oshkosh on Saturday, September 12th. Meet over 20 top vendors, including major cruise lines, tour companies, hotels, and WTMJ's own Steve Scafidi. Attend expert travel presentations, unlock exclusive booking offers, and enter to win amazing prizes. Registration is required to attend this premium event, and space is limited. Secure your spot today. Visit foxworldtravel.com to register right now.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. We are inching closer to the trade deadline as the Brewers are inching closer to beginning a 4-game series with the Pirates tonight at American Family Field. Jacob Mizorowski is done hearing about all the rumors and discussion.
Trade deadline is 24 hours away now. What are your views?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to answer it.
Even on the Dodgers?
I'm not even. Yeah, I'm good. So you can just stop the question.
So to recap here, the Dodgers land two-time Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal. The Cubs beef up their rotation, adding Kevin Gausman from the Blue Jays. The Braves swing a deal with the Giants for starting pitcher Tyler Mahle. And former Brewers ace Freddie Peralta goes to the Tampa Bay Rays. First padded practice of training camp is in the books for the Packers, and another solid day for wide receiver Matthew Golden, who's expected to replace Romeo Doubs in his second year.
I feel like we got a good group, a lot of good guys on the team. We added some new additions. I feel like we're a real tight group right now, but for me, I know I can do a lot of good things. So whenever my number is called, I know I'm going to be able to perform with my best foot forward and just go out there and attack.
Packers begin the preseason August 13th against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That was a Miz saying, don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, he said. That was kind of cute, actually. Check Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We're doing pretty good for the most part, but I do want to let you know about one situation out in Waukesha County because DOT is reporting Wisconsin 100 North at Fountain Boulevard, Stanley Drive. The right lane is closed due to a broken down vehicle. But then, as I take a peek, also looks like Wisconsin 100 South at Leon Road, Lily Road, the left lane is closed due to what they're calling an incident. And as I pull up the cameras here, not sure exactly what's going on, but a heads up if you're in the area. I see people driving by right now. I do see 2 ambulances out there, some emergency responders with lights on as well, and at least 2 cars that are off to the side, one with flashing lights. So hopefully it's nothing too serious, but I do want to let you know that. This is out in Waukesha County, Wisconsin 100 North at Fountain Boulevard, Stanley Drive. Right lane is closed. There's an emergency vehicle out there, a couple of emergency vehicles, and we've got some sort of incident that we'll keep our eyes on.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
High of 78 degrees today, overnight low of 62. Sun in the morning and the high of 85. Then we get a little cloudy. Some rain could roll in at night. And expect a couple of rounds of showers on Wednesday. Wednesday's high 76 degrees. Thursday, back into the low 80s under partly cloudy skies. Friday, the sun returns to the high of 81. It's currently 78 and sunny in Milwaukee at 210.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, T-minus 4 days and Still State Fair begins. We will be out there on Thursday with Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Joining us after our program, Wisconsin's Midday News, of course. Steve and Kristen are doing the Cream Puff giveaway. As long as the weather is good, they'll be out there. Everybody's registered. So 300 people registered to get free Cream Puffs. And Steve and Kristen Bry will be out there at State Fair Park, handing them out to all the people who registered, and will likely be in line very early in the morning.
It's always a fun morning. We were out there last year, and it's amazing to see how many people line up early to get those boxes of free Cream Puffs.
Including your mom, by the way, who was there last year getting her Cream Puffs.
She always likes to support. Yeah,
good stuff.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the city of Madison is working to reopen the area where a man was shot and killed by police last month. The intersection of Baldwin and Williamson has been shut down for 12 days now since 38-year-old Corey Ruiz was killed. A makeshift memorial arose. People started sleeping there. Now the mayor says the gathering needs to end, and it needs to end now. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says the encampment is hurting nearby businesses. So here's what's happening moving forward. Barricades are coming down, and the city is going to start towing cars that aren't moved. They're putting notices on the cars first to say, hey, you got to move your car. But then if they go back out there and the notices are still there in a certain amount of time, those cars will be towed. The city is also relocating memorial items so traffic can move through. There's a plan to preserve the memorial items because there's art out there, there's pictures out there. I mean, there's things like flowers, of course, too, which you're not going to preserve forever, things like candles as well. But they are looking at a permanent memorial to Ruiz. Meanwhile, the Wisconsin Department of Justice continues to investigate the police shooting. If you think about this, it was, like 12 days ago now. Officers say Ruiz pulled out a knife during a struggle with officers, and that's when he was shot. 4 officers are on administrative leave.
Well, number 2, the trade deadline is inching closer here in Major League Baseball. The Brewers have just a few hours here, less than 3, as a matter of fact, to swing a deal. They missed out on 2-time Cy Young Award-winning pitcher Tarek Skubal, but sources confirmed to WTMJ the Brewers were in advanced discussions with the Tigers. They were in on one of the best pitchers in the game. He ends up going to the Dodgers. Skubal, one of 5 starting pitchers on the move. Former Brewers ace Freddie Peralta also being traded from the Mets to the Tampa Bay Rays. So what is left now for the Brewers to hone in on?
Relief pitching. And that's where Luke Weaver right now is the best available arm on the market. He's got signed for another year. Milwaukee wants help. Pittsburgh wants help. Frankly, everyone wants help.
That's ESPN's Jeff Passan. The trade window closes at 5 o'clock this evening. It's one of those days you're just kind of hitting refresh on your social media feeds because Players are moving. Deadline spur action. So in the next couple of hours, expect to see some others moved. And there's still plenty of potentially available talent that could help the Brewers in the stretch run here. But as of today, they've got the best record in baseball. But among the contenders, you could argue they're the only one that has not improved their team at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I was wondering, I think it was Saturday, we got the news. I was checking out my email. Perkins gone, Yoho gone. I thought, okay, what are they doing? So what do you think, Greg? Do you think that they're going to make a move? Or do you think we're just going to sit here as is at this point?
I think they are in the market for pitching. I think they would like starting pitching. I think they need help with relief pitching. I don't think they're going to do much with position players. It becomes kind of tricky to figure out where a position player would go. Now, the other side of that is you need your stars to start hitting like stars, and Christian Yelich and William Contreras and Jackson Chourio are not as of late, so you need that to turn around. That's where you need the bats to go. I don't think they'll be on the hunt for a bat, but pitching is such a commodity. It is so hard to find great pitching, and that's why it costs a lot for these teams that are in the mix, trying to make a World Series run. The Dodgers get the best of the bunch in Skubal. I know the Brewers were involved and had a competitive offer. But if the Dodgers miss on Skubal and they lose a few prospects, it's okay. It's the Dodgers. They'll just spend $200 million on another player. The Brewers cannot do that. So They do need to be a little more cautious with their approach. But they always do something. So I'd be surprised if we got to 5 o'clock and there was absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And what did the Miz have to say about this?
You didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, not going there.
Yeah.
Nope, we can just move on, he said.
Didn't want to talk about it at all. Brewers take on the Pirates later tonight. By the time coverage begins at 6:05, the trade window will have closed. It is 2:15 on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Well, get ready for a festival lineup like no other. It's called WinFest, and it's at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. What is it? Well, now through September, play with your Potawatomi rewards card, and you'll start stacking entries. If you don't have the rewards card, no problem. It's free. You can sign up at Potawatomi. All those monthly promo entries will count toward the finale drawing. That'll be September 25th. You could win cars, dream vacations, free play, cash. It's all up for grabs for you at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who riles up the crew with his words of inspiration.
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's our guy. Brewers manager Pat Murphy joins Wisconsin's Morning News every Tuesday at 8:45 for Brewers 360. Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Cannon and Dumphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors.
Nice day today. High 78 degrees, overnight low 62 degrees. Tomorrow, a little warmer, high of 84. Rain moves in at night, and it's going to be wet on Wednesday. Multiple rounds of storms are expected on Wednesday. Wednesday's high 78 degrees. Thursday, we start to dry out a little bit after some morning rain, potentially, with a high of 80. And Friday looks pretty good. Mostly sunny and a high of 81. It's 78 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 218. Well, I'm fascinated by the world of space. I just don't understand how things are able to just sort of float in space and not come hurtling toward the Earth each and every day. Or maybe things like that are happening and just sort of burns up and we never really know about it. But there is something that is hurtling toward the Earth, and it's going to cost about $30 million to make sure it doesn't. A private rescue mission rushing to save an aging and falling Swift Space Telescope is underway, but is also in jeopardy. We welcome in ABC's Jim Ryan. Jim, a lot of questions here. What is this thing that is hurtling toward the Earth that NASA is trying to make sure doesn't?
The Neil Gehrels Swift Observatory, a space satellite that's been up there a couple of decades, bringing us back magnificent images of the universe, explosions way out in space that may tell us something about the beginning of the universe, maybe the end of the universe. And NASA wants to keep that thing operating for as long as possible. Unfortunately, for a lot of reasons, suns, flares, part of it, solar flares, it is degrading. Its orbit is decaying, and it's coming down out of orbit prematurely. So the mission was launched a month ago today. I think you and I talked about this. The mission to save it, to hoist it up into higher altitude, higher orbit. And so, this three-armed robot was sent into orbit, was supposed to link up with it. In fact, it's called Link. It was going to hoist it up, about 100 miles higher, and that would give it another 10 years of life. Unfortunately, the Link satellite, the Link repair robot, is having problems of its own. The company that made it and NASA now have confirmed that it's hurtling, essentially spinning out of control. They're going to try to arrest that, try to use rockets to stop the spin, get it stabilized again, and then resume its mission, maybe toward the end of this month. But the clock is ticking. The Gehrels Swift Observatory could come falling out of orbit before the end of the year.
So, Jim, if this rescue mission fails, what happens next?
Well, I think that's it. They're going to just write off the Swift Observatory, the Swift Space Telescope, and say, well, we tried, we couldn't save it. It's going to come hurtling into the Earth's atmosphere. Almost certainly will burn up before it does any damage. But yeah, it's kind of a sad end if that's what happens. A happy end, certainly, if they can make this mission work, Jessica.
So 22 years old. It's been up there since 2004. Now, maybe to many of us, it doesn't feel like that's an inordinate amount of time. In the world of spacecraft, NASA, anything in space, this feels like ancient. 2004 is when this thing launched. How has it not been repaired or put back into its place before now, Jim?
Well, the technology wasn't there. And there's this growing industry, a cottage industry almost, of companies that are working to save aging telescopes and aging satellites, keep them in orbit longer. And, part of it is public safety. Because according to the New York Times, had a great story that they published the other day. 1 ton, a solid ton of stuff falls out of space every week.
Wow.
Not every year, but every week that stuff is falling. And most of it burns up harmlessly. We don't even know about it. Sometimes you see images on social media of stuff streaking across the sky. That's space junk that made it through the atmosphere and is burning up on its way down. And very rarely, occasionally, we do have stuff that hits the Earth. There have been cases around the world of space junk found in weird places. One in Florida, early in 2024, something came through the roof of a house in Naples, Florida. Turned out, it was space junk. So the concern is that if we don't do something about all the space junk, either build it of materials that will burn up before hitting the Earth, or saving them, rescuing them, pushing them higher into orbit, we're going to see a lot more of that.
And when we hear about space junk falling back to Earth, how much of a risk is it that to actually people on the ground? I remember that home getting hit in Naples, Florida, and that was kind of shocking. But I don't think anyone was seriously hurt in there, thank goodness. No. But could people be hurt?
They could, yeah. There's been only one verified case, and that was in Oklahoma in the 1990s. A woman who was struck by a piece of space junk. Didn't hurt her seriously. I think she had a bruise from it. But that was space junk that struck her. Now, a study that was done for the FAA has concluded that by 2035, the next 9 years, debris from SpaceX satellites alone could kill or injure somebody every 2 years. And of course, SpaceX isn't alone. There are a lot of companies that are doing this sort of consistent launches.
So the cost of this thing, Jim, also stands out. $30 million to repair it. I don't know what things cost, things that you stick in space. I'm going to guess that it's much less expensive to repair than just build a new one and throw it up in space and yank the old one down. Is that an accurate statement?
Well, yeah, in a way. And it's getting less expensive to launch satellites. That's why you have so many of them. Now, Elon Musk has about 10,000 satellites in space. He's applied for 1 million. He wants to put 1 million satellites up there. So you can see that the cost has come down somewhat. But it's not a matter of fixing the Neil Gehrels Swift Observatory. It's just a matter of hoisting it higher into orbit. It works just fine. What they need to do is to try to keep it from plunging back into Earth's atmosphere prematurely.
And is NASA fully funding this mission, Jim?
No, and it's privately funded. It's also, this is kind of a test bed for this industry, this burgeoning industry of saving satellites. And so a lot of people have pitched in on this just to see if it can work. So far, they're having trouble with the Link robot.
Well, best of luck to our fine folks at NASA here. ABC's Jim Ryan. Jim, we appreciate the time and insight. Thank you.
Thanks for the update, Jim.
See you guys.
No matter what we were doing, the Brewer game was always on. Kind of the background of my childhood. I wore number 17.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that was my number.
Yep. This is my friend Jim Gantner. Jim was always my favorite player. We did Jim's roof up in Eden.
Right. The great job he does on homes. Most important is honesty, integrity, and doing a great job.
See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
Oh, what a beautiful job installing our master closet. Inspired Closets Milwaukee did a great job with us. We had a cluttered mess of a space, builder-grade racking. It was just sort of cluttery, and every time we tried to clean it, all we did was just sort of move stuff around. Never stayed clean. That is no longer the case. Inspired Closets Milwaukee came out to our place. They took some measurements. We talked about things we wanted to have, things we like to have, and they had some great ideas and suggestions of their own. And before you know it, we had a beautifully new, custom-designed master closet. It's still clean. It still looks great. It has transformed our space. It's removed the stress. It's removed the clutter. We've got a beautiful master closet. Think about that space in your house that never really seems to get clean as much as you try. Could be a pantry or laundry room, maybe a mud room, maybe a space in the garage. All that and above, it can be handled by Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Visit their showroom. Connect with the folks here. Katie and Dan, a wife and husband team at Inspired Closets, will do exactly for you what they did for me. Remove the clutter. Ease the stress of your everyday with Inspired Closets Milwaukee.
Every child deserves someone who won't give up on them. That's what LaCausa's treatment foster care program provides.
She just made me feel like I could breathe. At the end of the phone call, she said, "I love you." And I'm like, you don't even know me, but I felt like she did love me. It just let me know everything's gonna be okay. Like everything is gonna be okay.
One caring adult can change a child's life. Learn how you can become a foster parent with LaCausa at lacausa.org.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. The staff is deeply committed to providing a welcoming and engaging environment for everyone at every level. Learn the right way to handle firearms, level up your skills, and experience replica firearms from different historical eras while learning about their role in protecting our freedoms throughout history. Visit veteran-owned and managed Mission 94 in Kenosha today. Check out the 5-star reviews. Just Google Mission 94.
Just like that, we've got some breaking Brewers news.
Yeah, so the Brewers are reportedly swinging a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals, and there's still more details to be sorted out. For example, who is going back to St. Louis in exchange for starting pitcher Dustin May and reliever JoJo Romero. This first being reported by Ken Rosenthal, MLB Insider. The Cardinals are trading starter Dustin May, 28 years old, stands 6'6" tall. At one point, he was a prize prospect in the Dodgers organization, ended up with St. Louis. Has battled a bit of injuries over his years, but still relatively young at the age of 28. He'll be coming to Milwaukee, as is reliever JoJo Romero. Brewers need pitching depth, as we just talked about on the program. It's an area that we knew they were looking to shore up. They fell short in their offer for Tarek Skubal, the two-time Cy Young Award winner. He goes to Los Angeles. But do find some help here with Dustin May and reliever JoJo Romero. It does at this point appear to be unclear what exactly is going back to St. Louis. That'll be a further discussion here as part of the story. But starting pitching and bullpen help with some experience, pretty decent talent there, too, coming back to Milwaukee.
Yeah, big day to be refreshing MLB on social media. I keep refreshing on X, and I keep seeing all the pictures and then the big in bold letters in black at the bottom. On the move.
That'll be happening until about 5 o'clock this evening. The Brewers take on the Pirates. So more on this as we learn more information. We'll share it with you here on WTMJ.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, August 3rd. Your top story, encampment in Madison being reviewed.
I'm Jessica Ty. A construction update coming up.
78 degrees, your high today, overnight low 62. It's currently 77.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Despite Iran denying there are direct talks with the U.S., they are not only going on, says President Trump at the White House.
I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. It's very tough to do what we have planned, still planned. We'll see what happens.
President's company, Trump Media, is launching a new feature that critics say is corrupt, an example of a president making money off of his office. ABC's Peter Harlambus.
Now the president's company is selling instant access to Trump's social media posts through a service designed for big financial firms that could make millions from having Trump's announcements milliseconds faster than their competitors.
Hundreds of homes are reported burned to the ground by wildfires, say fire officials in Spokane, Washington. Two Republican senators who delayed the Todd Blanche nomination for Attorney General say they're now satisfied that Blanche has met their demands and that a Judiciary Committee vote is expected tomorrow. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway urging protesters occupying the intersection of Williamson and Baldwin Streets to clear the area following a deadly police shooting of Corey Ruiz. The mayor says the encampment has disrupted nearby businesses and residents, with some workers losing income and businesses facing possible closure. Rhodes Conway says the city has provided hotel rooms, outreach services, and mental health resources for people staying at the site, but now wants barricades and vehicles removed so the intersection can remain open.
A Delafield restaurant owner is facing sexual assault charges.
49-year-old Yazar Kanda is accused of sexually assaulting two employees by intentionally touching them without their consent. Kanda made inappropriate comments and twice grabbed female employees behind without their consent. Investigators say other employees saw some of the alleged incidents. Kanda allegedly told the restaurant's general manager he didn't remember the incidents because he had been drinking. He's due in court on August 20th. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin is preparing a new federal Medicaid work requirement that state officials say could affect hundreds of thousands of Badger Care members.
The Department of Health Services says around 200,000 adults enrolled in Badger Care Plus will likely have to prove they're working, attending school, or volunteering to keep their health coverage. DHS Secretary Kirsten Johnson says about 63,000 people could be at immediate risk of losing benefits.
The work requirement means certain Medicaid members must prove they have worked or participated in other activities to obtain and keep their health care coverage.
DHS says notifications will begin going out this month, with the new federal work requirements taking effect next year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A new economic report shows the Milwaukee metro area continues to outperform the nation in several key areas, even as some signs point to a slowing economy. The region's unemployment rate remains below the national average, while home prices continue to hold up better than much of the country. MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy tells Wisconsin's Midday News rising inflation and softer hiring are some of the challenges.
The one that's unique to Wisconsin is also our challenge just to fill the jobs that are being created.
The report says future economic growth depends on attracting more workers to meet the region's labor needs.
Well, if you're heading to the state fair this week, state transportation officials say main highway ramps will be open. They're also urging drivers to map out their route before getting into the vehicle.
Getting right up to the fairgrounds won't be as much of a headache this year as you might think, even with all the heavy cone zones around Milwaukee.
So for everyone going to State Fair, a reminder to drivers that all ramps at the 84th Street interchange are open at I-94.
Eric Hansen of the DOT says if you're coming from the south, the 894 exit to National Avenue is also back open. Your ride into State Fair Park should be pretty smooth as long as you remember no left turns into the fairgrounds. Check out the maps on WTMJ.com. Debbie Laziga, WTMJ News.
Right turns only. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Hey, WTMJ's John Burke here. In 1845, the first clerk of Washington County built a quaint one-room cabin in the Kettle Moraine Forest. In 1933, Ray Wolf, an avid outdoorsman, restored the cabin, built a basement bar, and opened it to fellow equestrians. It became headquarters for many a fox hunt, and the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club was born. And now, when you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every night, every night. Choice steaks, seafood, ribs, the roast duck. How about the surf and turf? Vegetarian options, any entree, all buy one, get one free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, my favorite part of the meal. Also, buy one, get one free. Wine down with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, more than 120 wines in the rustic bar, and there are 8 unique dining rooms. Experience a spectacular summer drive through the Kettle Moraine to the Fox and Hounds, recently honored as the second most popular supper club in the state by restaurant critic Troy Munson. Near the Holy Hill Shrine, it's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 17 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. That's bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Capri Communities presents Golden Memories from the Wisconsin State Fair.
My name is Desiree, and my favorite State Fair memory is the racing pigs. It is so much fun and entertaining to watch those little pigs run around. And the other favorite memory is the giant slide, watching my 3 children, just watching their face as they get to the bottom. Now they have their own children and they're grown, and they come to the State Fair as well.
Join Capri Communities at the Wisconsin State Fair Monday, August 10th for Senior Night. Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Milwaukee Brewers are acquiring starting pitcher Dustin May and left-handed reliever JoJo Romero from the St. Louis Cardinals. On the field, the Brewers begin a 4-game series with the Pirates tonight at American Family Field. Coverage gets underway at 6:05. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur with instructions for his team on day 1 of pads being worn at practice.
I don't want him to come anywhere near the quarterback. You can't get close to him. There's going to be a time and a place for that, and that'll be in our first preseason game.
Packers defensive back Carrington Valentine sits out practice with a hamstring injury. Packers begin the preseason August 13th against the Steelers.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We're doing pretty good at this point, certainly better than we were when we started Wisconsin's Midday News. We just have a handful of disabled vehicles that are dotting the system, but not causing problems. So good news there. I'm just taking a peek to make sure nothing has changed with those. Nope, we're doing good. The only other thing we have are construction zones, and we have a little bit of slowing in both directions around American Family Field today, right there around the ballpark. 94 eastbound and westbound. We are seeing delays today. And then also 4145, you know it if you live here, the construction zone. We are seeing delays. 4145 south from today. It looks like actually those delays are going to start before you get to Good Hope Road, and then they will clear up once you get to North Avenue Actually, it looks like they clear up a little bit past Capitol today, so that's some good news there. And then if you are headed 4145 north in the Mayfair area, you are seeing the slowdowns begin just a little bit before North Avenue, and then it clears up before Capitol.
Plenty of sunshine today, high 78 degrees, overnight low 62. Tomorrow's high 84. Rain possible at night, and that could linger into Wednesday. Looks like a couple of rounds of rain possible on Wednesday with a high of 78. Rain possible in the morning hours on Thursday, then cloudy and a high of 81. Back into the low to mid-80s on Friday with plenty of sun. 78 and sunny in Milwaukee at 239. Now, do you ever feel like the AI industry is just moving too fast? Like they're kind of trying to build this plane while they're flying it?
I think it is fascinating. I think it is so beneficial in many ways. And then I also have some concerns about it.
Well, for the first time publicly anyway, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman agrees. Maybe this thing is moving along a little too fast. Just days after one of OpenAI's experimental models managed to break out of its controlled test environment. Remember this? It got all tangled up with this security breach with a competitor. Well, Altman admits maybe it's time to pace AI development. Matt Rosen is the CEO and founder of Elata. It's a technology consulting firm that helps companies understand and utilize artificial intelligence, who joins us to talk about this idea. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show this afternoon.
So the idea of slowing down the development of AI, it sounds kind of refreshing. I'm sure plenty of people listening to this are like, yes, thankfully, let's get some guardrails here. But with big tech pouring billions into winning the AI arms race, how complicated would a slowdown in development actually be?
I think it'd be pretty difficult because, I mean, you have the three major labs, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google. They would all have to agree. But then you've got lots of other people out there, like, Musk has got his own with XAI. I think they've rebranded it a few times now. Plus, you got people, like the former founder of OpenAI who's developing her own models. And then you've got the Chinese who are like all systems go, developing and building power infrastructure as fast as they can. So I think it'd be a little bit difficult to say, hey, we're just going to slow down. Now, could there be some controls or safeguards put in place? Perhaps. But just saying we're going to slow down, I think would be a Herculean effort to get everyone to stop around the globe, and even in the United States.
Matt, more than 1,000 employees from the world's biggest AI companies are asking Washington to create a way to slow AI development if needed. How unusual is it to see an industry asking for more guardrails instead of fewer?
I think it's odd. I read the letter. I'm like, well, these people are working at the very labs that are racing to create these models. Why don't they slow it down themselves? Like, why are we asking the government, who barely understands where these AI models are capable of, to come in and regulate it for them? It is somewhat unprecedented. I don't know if it's virtue signaling or what they're hoping it'll do, but I've rarely seen where the government has stepped into a field so complex such as this and expect to know more than the people that are actually driving it. If they want to slow down, why don't they just slow down?
So you mentioned creating safeguards and that idea, but how does legislative oversight outpace technology? This is moving so rapidly, and something created as a safeguard 6 months from now may not work.
You're absolutely right. And that's the problem. By the time you get people up to speed and get something through Congress, everything will have changed. I mean, our firm, I've got 400 engineers out there doing AI work for clients every day, and it literally changes every week. It is mind-boggling how fast it's going. And I think where some people are worried is when you start having AI do the AI research to make it better, which is already starting to occur. Yeah, it's going to be really hard for a governmental body or really anybody to keep up with. I do know there's been something proposed by the head of DeepMind where they would create their own regulatory body, but that is going to slow progress. I do know there's a bill going through right now where there's like a kill switch for an AI. We'll see whether that passes both houses or not. But it's a really interesting time we're living in. I mean, this technology can do so much good for our world, and we really owe it to ourselves to stay ahead in the AI race against China. But at the same time, you're seeing some of the negative effects, where both OpenAI and Anthropic have had security incidents. They call them incidents. They told the AI what to do. It did what they told it to do. What it exposed was like weak passwords and, things that were facing the internet that companies just really needed to shore up to begin with. So it's a very interesting time we're living in, but I don't think the labs throwing their hands up and saying government figure it out is going to work for us.
Is AI security becoming the next cybersecurity? At some point, are companies going to need to hire AI safety officers?
Absolutely. And the good thing about these AI models is they can help you detect security threats. I mean, that's what happened with that Glasswing project, where Anthropic had the new Mythos model. It's been rebranded as Fable, but they gave people time to test it and find vulnerabilities. I am okay with things slowing down a little bit to test as a new model comes out. If it's a couple weeks of having, some major players test it and look for vulnerabilities, I think that's a good thing. Waiting weeks is okay, but waiting months or years to keep up is not. And so, yes, I think you're going to see cybersecurity continue to grow. And, AI cybersecurity is just, really the next thing. But a lot of these hacks you heard about recently from OpenAI and Anthropic, these were holes that were always there and they just hadn't been closed and the AI found it. And so I think companies are going to have a stronger security posture than ever as AI continues to develop and become part of our daily life.
Matt, in your experience, is China going through some of the same headaches that the United States is? Just this example that I used at the start of our segment here, right? They've got a controlled model here. It escapes control. It gets tangled up in a security breach. Are the same things happening in China?
That's a great question. I don't know, and we're only going to hear what the Chinese Communist Party wants us to hear. So it's hard to say, but you do have the entire government and society kind of focused on AI, and you hear very positive things about it because that's what the news media wants you to hear out of there. But they have created a number of models that are probably 6 to 9 months behind where the American models are, and they're free to download. You hear these open weights or open source models. And a lot of companies are downloading, adopting them, playing with them. And I don't love that because what it does is it basically, again, instead of using the latest and greatest that American companies are building, that billions and trillions of dollars have been poured into, everyone goes and downloads a cheap open weight Chinese model. Well, what happens to all the investment that we put in, to OpenAI and to Google and to Anthropic? A lot of investors have a lot in. And we really need to stay ahead. And so the Chinese have done a good job of at least staying close behind us. We've limited some of that with some of the export controls around NVIDIA chips. But I think, this is a race that we want to stay one step ahead of. And we do that by continuing to invest in these American frontier labs, staying a step ahead, not slowing them down.
And what about for businesses, local businesses? I'm thinking about the local small businesses listening, or even some of the big businesses here in Milwaukee, the major corporations. What is the greatest risk now? Is it adopting AI too quickly, or is it waiting too long?
I think it's actually waiting too long. I look across our set of clients. Some of the very largest are figuring it out, but some of the smaller ones are kind of just dipping their toe in the water. I think where it's risky is if there's not a good stance from the company on how AI should be used. Just buying Claude or buying ChatGPT or buying Copilot and saying, hey, good luck, go for it, is not the way to do it. It's really investing in the training around it, making sure people understand how to use it, having policies around it. I see all too often you have a few individuals that get really good at the tools, but sometimes they're like taking corporate data and they're using ChatGPT on their personal computer, and that's dangerous when you're training the open internet with company-specific information. I tell our clients all the time, your data is your differentiator. You want to use these tools in a way where you're not exposing all that you do and all that you know to one of these frontier models, or even worse, one of these open weights models that are being built by the Chinese. And so I think organizations need to look to adopt it, but do it in kind of a safe, secure, and thoughtful way where their people and processes are really thought through as they're going through and adopting it. And that's a lot of what myself and a lot of my competitors are out really trying to help educate corporations, because they tend to move slower than individuals. And so I think that's something for the leaders out there listening. You definitely don't want to wait too long. This technology is moving too fast to wait.
So, Matt, you are an expert in this space, and we've talked through some of the challenges and the idea of the United States deliberately slowing down in its race for AI. But how do we prevent global adversaries from sprinting ahead of us and gaining a permanent technological advantage? You mentioned China, but also what are the pitfalls there? What if China does outpace the United States in the world of AI? How much does that really matter?
It depends if they deploy those capabilities, in a bad way. If they look to, crash our, infrastructure or public sector systems, or, you saw some of the hacks recently on water facilities. What you don't want is the models getting developed that are beyond our model's ability to defend against them. I mean, there's literally people all over the world, not just in China, but in many different nations, where they go to work every day and their sole job is hacking American citizens and companies. You get it in your text, you get it in your email. And so to the extent that tools can be leveraged that outpaces our ability to keep up with them, you could see a number of bad things happen, from just people being hacked to core infrastructure systems being hacked. So that's why this is a national security thing. We need to stay a step ahead, and slowing progress is not the way to do it. I think there's some element of regulation between these companies and the government, but it's not a full-scale stop what we're doing. It's let's continue to build, let's continue to innovate, let's put some safeguards in place, let's make sure we have the proper testing cycles, but completely stopping is a good way to make sure we lose the race.
That's Matt Rosen, the CEO and founder of Ileta, technology consulting firm, helping companies understand and utilize artificial intelligence. Really good insight, Matt. Really appreciate you joining us today. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Take care.
Yep, it's 2:49 here on WTMJ.
Here's a fact about our state that too few Wisconsinites are acting on. Wisconsin has the largest black-white academic performance gap in America, in every grade tested and every subject. It's a gap that has existed for decades, and in many areas, the gap is growing. This is a reality our state simply can't afford to accept. And it's a Wisconsin problem worth all of us understanding. Learn how City Ford Collective is leading the charge for change at cityfordcollective.org.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit outdoorlivingunlimited.com.
It happens without warning. And when it's a truck crash, everything changes. Call Gruber Law Offices and let us protect your rights. We've got the knowledge, skills, and resources to win. One call, that's all.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
So, Dad, what gives with the square pizzas? Well, Marty wanted to be different, but little did he know that he was giving everyone a real value. We figured it out. Our 12-inch square pizza covers 27% more space than a 12-inch round. A bigger pizza and a better value. Yep, 27% more. Marty's Pizza in Delafield. And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering. Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Nice day today, plenty of sunshine, little mix of clouds, high 78, overnight low 62. Rain in the evening on Tuesday after a partly cloudy day with a high of 84. It's 77 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 252.
So you were just out of town. Were you at a hotel this weekend, or did you do an Airbnb? What
No,
did you guys
Airbnb.
do?
We had a group of 10, so we rented a house in Galena. Beautiful.
Okay, that's fun. So I'm thinking about when you go to a hotel, right? Everybody wants free Wi-Fi these days, and most hotels have them. But do you think much about the security? Because here's the thing. Today, Microsoft is saying it's actually issuing a security warning about hotel Wi-Fi. The company says Russian hackers are using phony sign-in pages to break into your accounts.
Microsoft says you should assume that public and hotel Wi-Fi networks might not be trustworthy. Using your phone as a hotspot is a safer option, but make sure that you check your plan's data allowance first. And if you are using 365, consider passwordless login options like passkeys or multi-factor authentication.
That's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze. Here's the thing. It's like, oh man, now we have to worry about this. You have to worry about pretty much everything online. Because there have been times I've gone into, maybe I've been in a local business or I'm somewhere in a public area and I see a local business nearby that has an open Wi-Fi. And I think twice about doing that, right? If I don't know the local business, if I'm not actually there, but you can happen to be able to reach it, I don't do it. But if I'm at the airport, I'm always jumping on the free Wi-Fi. If you're at a hotel, I'm jumping on the free Wi-Fi. So now you got to think twice about it.
So even on your phone, do you do that? If I can use the LTE or whatever in my normal phone, I don't need Wi-Fi to peruse or check email or whatever. I typically don't hop on the Wi-Fi unless I have to.
Oh, yeah, I do.
If I'm in an area where I know it's just like, my service is kind of stinky, so I gotta find Wi-Fi in order to strengthen my ability to do what I want to do.
I do, and maybe this will make me sound old or something, but I have a plan that has a certain amount of data, and it has a ton of it, but if I'm not on Wi-Fi, it can go like that. And
Sure.
I know a couple of my friends, I asked, they're like, what? What do you mean you ran out of data? And I said, well, I think it was one time when I was traveling overseas, and then I came back, and maybe it was one of the times we were working out in the field, and I was just off of Wi-Fi for a while. So I did run out of data. And you can still go online, but it will slow you down. It slows you down, and nobody wants to be slowed down on the internet these days.
No, not at all.
So I do. Yeah, I'm always. If I go to the airport, I hop on the Wi-Fi. If I go to a hotel, I hop on the Wi-Fi. Some of you are probably shouting, you just need to get a new plan now at this point. But
You used to have to pay for it, right? You'd get that Boingo hotspot or whatever, like at the airport. Like, what is this? Come on.
There are still some Boingo hotspots out there.
There are. It seems like most of the airports that I've been at recently, the free Wi-Fi is a thing. It's more for my kids' like tablet or something like that doesn't have like a cellular connection. We don't pay for that, but usually on my phone, I'm just totally fine being off of Wi-Fi, doing whatever I'm doing. If I need to be on it, I'm on it. For example, where we were this week, the service is not great out in Galena, Illinois, or kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it's out closer to Iowa than you are anything in Wisconsin, really. So that was a Wi-Fi situation because the service just wasn't great.
They still have the candle shop out in Galena where you can make your own
get a
candles.
shop for everything, including a root beer store, which was actually quite a bit of fun.
Love it.
We had a good
Galena's
time.
so charming.
It is 2:55 on WTMJ. We are out of time in the program. Wisconsin's afternoon news is on deck and warming up in the bullpen. Speaking of the bullpen, the Brewers are adding to their pen here with lefty reliever Jojo Romero and starting pitcher Dustin May. I think he took a no-hitter against the Brewers into the late innings not too long ago. Pretty good arms coming to the Brewers as part of a trade with the Cardinals. We'll have more on that throughout the afternoon here on WTMJ.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over